my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides. Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time to get into our fall final for Valorant with ECAC Esports. I'm Hail Monkey Man with Visionary 1, and you guys just got to see, well, map number 1. It was pretty dominant, ended up lagging out a little bit, but I mean, just the lagging behind. GVSU was able to get a few, but ultimately that one was done by the 10-2 of the first half. But we go into what is the opposite pick, as Fisher did have Haven. This one is Breeze over to the likes of GVSU. And I need to know, Visionary, are you going to miss this map at all? Like, at all in the rotation?
I have a extremely love-hate relationship with Breeze. Like the days that I'm hitting my shots and I'm feeling crispy, I'm like, Breeze is the best map in the game. I can't be stopped. You know, people are typing in chat that I'm an op crutch, and I'm just loving every single minute of it. And then there's times where I can't hit the broadside of a barn, and I'm like, this is the worst map ever made. Why are all the sightlines 56 feet? I just don't understand it. So that's where I kind of sit with Breeze. Honestly, from a competitive standpoint, though, I am kind of glad they're going to do some fixing to it, just because Viper is so integral to this map. And I feel like having must picks on maps kind of limits the ability of tactics that you can build around that. And so I'm going to see if they could potentially make Harbor more viable, of course, on that A site with just that long entrance. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. But I am going to be a little bit sad that it's going to be gone out of rotation. Obviously, I am happy that Split's back, though, because Split is just one of the GOAT maps, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I do like that there is, just like you were talking about with the fixing, quote unquote, of Breeze, that the same is maybe going to be integrated going over into Split, because everything was very 90-degree corners. I can see them opening up corners, maybe doing some 45s, maybe I'll open up some space. So things are more balanced because it was very defender heavy and attackers were just smacking themselves against a wall. But looking at what we will, or maybe potentially will, get going into Breeze, Cypher's rise up. Cypher got some fixing. We get those trap wires and tripwires to be a lot better. The camera can see all as long as it's not killed, and you get the second neural theft ping after 4 seconds, which is just so good. We will potentially see a dual KO. Is this full mirror? We're full mirror. All right, so we get GOAT's time going against both these squads. Viper, Cyphers, KOs, Jets galore, and of course dual initiators with that Sova in the back corner.
And the big difference here, obviously, is GVSU did not used to run a duelist on this map. They would run triple initiators, and they would run Chamber as their main duelist. Chamber's gone now, so you have to commit that pick to a Cypher. And again, it just shows you how just this one patch has really just evolved the competitive meta, especially in college Valorant, because you see people are like, hey, we can't find as much value with Chamber anymore, especially on a map like Breeze, right? Where it is so large that you're out of that trademark radius almost as soon as you get on site. So like you used to use it for flank watch. Now it's pretty much useless. You have to basically put it directly behind you once you get onto site. Not as useful. So you're seeing these teams commit players to picks that they may not be used to. And I really like just what one big change can do, right? Because we could have still had Cypher with only 1 ping on the neural theft. I still think with the Chamber nerfs, he would be run here instead of Chamber.
Yeah, I could see that, but this Cypher was slowly evolved to me. What was the reason why I started leaning into liking, at least a tiny bit liking, the likes of Breeze? Because otherwise, I too hated. Less love, more hate to this map, because I just can't hit my dang shots, okay? If you can give me a Spectre all the time and be able to give me close quarter combat, then I am happy. When it comes to actually aiming, I am a sad, strange little man. But the first kill, the first blood, goes over to the likes of Grand Valley, as they actually will pick up Fisher College. So getting a little bit of aggro on that defensive swing out an elbow, but it's Grand Valley that receives it pretty well. And now they're going to be given some extra chances as they will rotate bomb over. It took a bit because they had the bomb over a bit more default. They're going to be going to B.
Yeah, and I really like the default there, as Del Taco's going to find a second as well. Arak's going to find a few tags, get the plant down here as well. Del Taco down to 20 HP, full flash right now. Of course, the knife coming out, and you see that lurk coming out from Illusion, able to take down Dory. Del Taco's going to fight 3, and Dive just ends the round, and that defaults, and Fisher is just kind of stranded in mid, getting hit from all sides. That really opened him up, and it's a great pistol round from Grand Valley State.
Logan going to pick up that Marshall, but yeah, this is where, if you are Grand Valley, you want to find a little bit of confidence, make sure there is control. And they started on defense before having to receive the full brunt attack of Fisher, who did pick out to defense after this the Breeze was ultimately decided. But Grand Valley seems to be comfortable moving into this setup, and this is one of the few maps that you can get a much more enjoyable use out of your Bulldog as well, because of the triple tap. Feels a bit like a Marshall, especially from this distance, so wide open as it is. But as we do at least have the Viper wall set up, it's going to make for some direct denial as they look to come in through cave. It's still negotiating just where they kind of want to go. And one of my favorite parts about this map is, in fact, the tunnel that we're seeing Psych in, because it's basically surprise, and you know, you've unalived yourself right there on the ropes.
Yeah, and the Bulldog, unfortunately, just not extremely accurate, of course, when you're taking those fights. Now, the Bulldog did fall down, so they are going to be able to retrieve it at least. So that's not a gun down, but it is a person down. And losing your Viper that early in the round especially is an issue. Now you don't have smokes. You just have to rely on Cypher's cages to try to get on site, and those don't have a long throw distance. So you're making this twice as hard on yourself just by losing that Viper. We're going to see what they can swing out from this, but Ming basically has his entire site locked down. You have the camera in the corner. You have the tripwires, or actually no tripwires are set up here, opting to, of course, save out entirely this round. But you're going to get some good intel, and it should be a quick rotate coming in as soon as those sounds are heard.
And the good news is because of the position of that camera, they can actually be able to throw out those cyber cages, and they will designate where they in fact are. So this is a rough scene to play against. And there's a lot of extra util that's thrown against them to force them out of that corner. They're going to step right up into it and be able to end out Ming. So Luff finds them down. Dory's going to play from window, and the bomb will be happening. But that classic, can they get it? It's a bit of duck hunts, but they eventually bring down the bird. And only seconds remain, and they have to be able to outlast this damage from window. Psych eventually erases Arax, and Del Taco will be taken out. So Logan, I didn't expect this. This was a full clutch up, actually a full thrifty, and Grand Valley succeeds this round.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the two marshals are going to help you in your thrifty case, right? I mean, it's just that simple. But allowing two to take your flank onto B site, you lost your Viper. You did not lose your Cypher. Why? Where did your flank watch go? Is my question, because everybody rushed site, and then instantly, even if it is two classics, when nobody is peeking you, it's still 78 for the headshot, right? The only thing that's been nerfed from distance is the Spectre. So you can get 66 or you can get 78 out of that classic and do enough chip damage to allow your teammates to come through with those marshals and be able to body shot somebody dead. And I think that's the big thing right now. And the reason that Fisher has been doing so well is they keep playing unpredictably on defense, right? We saw a full mid take attempt, of course, in round number 1. Didn't really work out, but it's a different look than they gave in round number 2.
Yeah, they haven't made the same read twice. And already that is being seen by the likes of the Cypher and the Viper with their screen on B. But this is a main. They do bring that screen all the way across pyramids. Now they're trying to be able to take on Logan from that corner. They'll use their tailwind to get out and into safety. Maybe they'll be able to block that recon dart ping as they do walk it in and through. Double door as it is Psych that takes down Dive. So the attack and trades continue to fill the feed. But this is a very stagnated attack. The first about 45 seconds or so have chipped off of that clock, and they're going to have to start creating a little bit of space because it's right now Fisher College fairly comfortable from their defensive position. Grand Valley, that because of that earlier loss, is in a rough stagnation to even get anything started.
The economy isn't really there, but the flank watch is. This is a great job right here, but Dory's going to find 2. Clark's going to clean 1 up, and now it's going to be the KO alone. Arax trying to do everything he can with this Sheriff. Not going to find much. Ming takes them down. It's going to be an easy defuse, and Fisher College is going to go ahead and take round 3, which is theoretically their bye after the thrifty. So Grand Valley should be able to answer back next round with at least full util and full rifles. We're going to see how it plays out. Remember, this is Grand Valley's map pick, and we're seeing Fisher College do a little bit of work on defense here.
Yeah, and then this is their map pick, but this is also same comp both sides. So lack of differentiation will be able to get Logan sticking with basically what is an op when it is held in their hands, but truly a marshal amongst all these vandals. And otherwise, Grand Valley gonna make Fisher uncomfortable. Again, the switch up. Look at this full stack onto B. They're expecting the explosion onto B, and they're actually going to create some elbow pressure out from top in Nest as well. And that's a good read so far, as they're going to take this one 1v1 immediately against each other. But the lean A gives them a thoroughfare to take double doors and be able to run onto site, and they'll be able to face only a single Cypher. But they're looking for their options, and right now it's either tunnel to B or the doors are right there at A. Come on, just move. Let's go.
Yeah, you got to move at this point because you know you just lost 1, and Dory looking to press the issue right now. Going to get found by Luff. Great job just sitting in window. Yes, 1 fell. That's your Cypher. That's your flank watch. But I think you really have to go to A, and it looks like it's going to start going that way as Arax obviously does his due diligence, checks mid doors, but look at where Ming's camera is. They're going to be able to spot that rotation as soon as it comes through, and it's going to be an explosion back onto site and an attempted retake from Fisher College.
I feel like I wanted a little bit more aggression out of Grand Valley, especially on this run-up. They had backside of tower control, and now the null command will be expended, but at no issue, really, for Fisher. They have no one forward, and really the threats of being an early frag is abated because they're so passive on the back end. But the retake now has to go through these screens, as you do have this tight side hold on right pyramid from attacker's side. Great angle. They're going to be coming out from stairs. That is a 3-stack on top of there, and that's a Luff able to get rid of their twinsy. That fragment can create a little bit of extra space and force Arax to get uncomfortable, and that's what Ming is going to take advantage of. A big blind. Oh my goodness, the throw, and then the 0-point knife. It doesn't quite tag him. Into this 2v3, Grand Valley is starting to see their numbers depleted quite quickly, but it's Luff that comes up huge, and they have to be able to get maybe one more. They're looking for the ace. Logan gets it from distance, and that is going to be the fight of that asset from Illusion that secures themselves the tying round.
Illusion was just playing with death right there, and he got a little too close for comfort. But you know what? It ended up working out, so I'm not going to say anything about it. Good job, Illusion. Way to close that out, of course, with the lineups, with the snake bites. Can't really be mad at it. They did miss the first one, though, so that might be something to note in the future. The first lineup did miss. It hit the pyramid and then bounced off just almost into entrance. So they may kind of lean off of that and play a little bit more direct in your face, kind of just, hey, I'm just going to molly it and take a gunfight and see what happens. But for right now, Luff, like you said, coming up huge. Del Taco with the Blade Storm right here. And look at this B stack once again. They are just expecting this to be the site that's hit.
Yeah, they're expecting it and also very comfortable about being able to retake into A. You have the Hunter's Fury that's identified at least one hanging out into the corner. They want to be able to get rid of them, but they don't quite guide them. It's very interesting to see how those electric arrows really kind of push an agent off of their position and into open and unsafe waters. But look at this elongated lurk as well. You have one into the mid. They're getting all that audible intel that they're going on to A, but you also have the Cypher that's hanging out here in elbow, and they could counter the flank that's coming through mid as well. The plant will eventually go down, and now everyone's starting to move. All the little pieces are trying to be able to find one another and dive. Could be able to flank the flankers, but the timing is happening right around mid and tower, and they're going to be able to find them on the crossfires. Chlor gets rid of dive.
That was so gosh darn close to being able to get it. But unfortunately, of course, we see Grand Valley. Del Taco gets one, gets traded out immediately by Logan with the operator. I mean, it was a good opportunity on the flank, but I don't know how I feel about playing this far back on site. I mean, you're going to have 3v1 right here. Logan's going to have that operator to cover that long angle. And here come the mollies once again. Illusion with one snake bite, waiting for it. The defuse coming off right now. It's going to land in. And there is going to be the shock dart combo. That's beautiful. Is this going to be here right now as well? Just slowing it down. The decay is there. Luff going to get the spray down. Luff going to get 3. And I got to ask you, Monkey Man, does that qualify as bullying in the United States penal system? I got to ask, because I mean, the shock dart plus the molly combo?
I mean, it's not quite cruel and unusual, but it is funny. So anything that has comedy involved, I think, is still legal these days. That's what reality TV has taught me, even though sometimes reality TV often is just not funny at all. But you know what needs to happen? They almost did the strat right. You actually, if you have your mouse up to like 6,000 DPI, you live through that. It's just about swinging as fast as possible, just in a circle while you're just defusing the bomb. They were going only about 3,000. So, yeah. Upgrade your DPI like a little bit. Maybe go from 300 to 3,000, whatever you can do. Fisher College, for the first time in a while, after Grand Valley was able to grab round number 1, they will succeed another lead over to the Lakers, and they're gonna try and get on here a little bit quicker. I'd like the pacing that they were patient with before. Oh my goodness, Logan is still able to at least find one, but the better trades are coming out in favor of Grand Valley.
Yep, and it's going to be tough sledding ahead with just a couple of marshals in hand versus the full rifles that Grand Valley State, of course, has. We're going to see Illusion here just playing an elbow, being a little bit ratty, but I mean, that's proper spacing right there. You've already been flanked on a thrifty round once. You don't want it to happen again, so you see the Cypher and the Viper playing a little bit further back. Zluff is going to get spotted, and like you mentioned before, I mean, Logan has been so good, and so is KO on the side of Fisher College, that I don't think it matters much. It's really looking like they're not going to be able to get on site, and they're just going to kind of force the remainder of Grand Valley to try to push through this and maybe lose their life to the spike.
Yeah, Arax kind of recognized that issue a bit sooner than would otherwise have them die. Ooh, Arax will take a tiny extra step back. They will survive. That got a little bit more expensive towards the end as they were trying to make their exit. And Chloric, who earlier on was our assist king, only able to get 5 in 6 rounds. Crazy. But they will have that null command. And we haven't really seen much when it comes to the neural thefts playing a big part right now for identifying any sneaky, deaky type situations off of those rat moments. Look, I'm King Rats, okay? I want to be in the sewers. I want to smell. I want to never be found. That is how this happens. King Rat. I want these guys to rat until we basically have a still life photo, and it's an unmoving game. Just rat forever.
I mean, the place to do that is in halls, right? Just go ahead, get in that corner, and just sit there and see if they get a little bit aggressive. But right now, Logan going to be playing. I mean, I think the most common angle for any jet, because if you have your dash primed, well, hey, you're behind pyramid and you're just fine. That is a great camera spot as well to be able to see at least what's going to be on site, as Ming going to be here, going to take down the Sova drone as well. So the Al drone gets shot down, going to lead a little bit less util, which allows Logan to swing out of the corner. Going to find 1.5 as Arax can still be rezzed and is in fact being rezzed. They're going to spray down Arax, but it's not going to find much right there, as we're going to see the Viper's Pit come down as well. The KO knife going to spot one, but Dory going to find Arax on a trade. 3v3 right now on this retake.
Oh, you got 2 only remain to make it 1, but it's a 2v1 and got less than a half HP bar, and the pit will eventually drop, as Illusion does as well. So now Ming gets that neural theft. I haven't seen that one get used as of yet, and the second ping will come through. The bomb did not go down. That is an interesting position to be. You have 2 very low health players, and it's basically a foot race, as Del Taco definitely is going to put this one down on tower. They don't have enough time to be able to get back over to A. Where did they put it down? Oh, they exposed themselves too far towards McDonald's. So, free to fuse, goes over to Fisher. This one was starting to be a lot of snowballed momentum for the Lakers, but it's all of just a positional, maybe not even error, just a decision that plays against them.
Yeah, I understand walking out of the pit, right? But how much easier is it just to stay in it and secure a plan and play a 2v1 inside of Viper's Pit? Like, I'm gold, so don't listen to me, but I just feel like the decision's a little bit questionable, right? Like, you only get 7 seconds outside the pit now. I don't know if that's just a timing thing where they thought they had more time and it dropped. But they did, in fact, have the drop on, of course, Ming, and Ming was just able to do work with it and win the gunfight. And then, hey, here's a neural theft. We're going to get that information, and it kind of just opened everything up. So a great job, of course, by Ming to be able to get that clutch as we come into this 3-4, and this one is much closer than Haven was. I'm very happy to say that. But with GVSU's map pick, Monkey Man, you can't be throwing rounds like that in a 2v1 scenario.
Yeah, no, I was actually surprised that we didn't get a plant in the midst of the talk screen being up, the revive coming through. I thought there was enough kind of distraction to be able to have that happen, and then, you know, get yourself back to your safety positions that we've had the Lakers go into for Cave on the lineups. I mean, lineup Larry has been very much present here on Breeze, and Fisher's having to play around both the novelty and the gimmick of that. And it's a very smart idea. It's something I can't do. I try lineups and it just gets thrown and like off the map into the ocean. You would love to see what happens to my recon bolts. You would not. If we were on the same team, you would quit. Just FF real fast. But so far, Grand Valley has kept their pacing ahead of Fisher. As the talk screen will go down, they will retreat. And this is a back corner hold, bit of an eco, and Grand Valley is going to try and find what pressure they can through the archways.
Yeah, we're going to get a plant, but none of sight was clear. This might be dangerous right here, as Arax just completely found right there. The Marshal there's one shot. The blind going to be clutch as Del Taco's able to get the frag. Arax low HP here, and there's just so much going against Dive here in the flank, but he's going to get the timing on one. Illusion's going to help with the second. Here comes the neural theft. Those are the only 2 left, though. It is 2. Dory on site finds a rifle and retrieves it, and they actually have this down as well, and we're just going to see everything and probably some snake bites being thrown down as Psyche gets taken up by Del Taco with the spray. And here is the swing. Dive is going to have the cover for Del Taco. It is going to be 5-3.
That was a wonderful post plant hold, and I just want to say, because it did show up in frame there, it weirded me out when they changed up the tailwind, not just because of the mechanic for Jet when it first happened, but when you activate it, she turns blue. I don't know if anyone ever saw it. She turns Smurf blue, which sometimes I think there's a lot of Smurfs in my, you know, maybe that's just me projecting, but you know,
you're in silver, right?
Yeah, high silver. Yeah,
you've definitely been smurfed on by Jet
like a lot.
In both ways.
Every
both
game,
ways.
I swear. Wait, are you like high gold, like near plat? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss not ever being near that. My goodness, though. A little bit of extra smurfing from distance. Logan finding discounts on headshots. It is a 2-for-1 sale, and they get an extra buy because why not? So that will stop a lot of Lakers in their tracks, and they will be sent to the respawn bench for at least a little bit. And now you just have a conversation happening. They're just looking at each other over an elbow.
I kind of want to see this conversation happen right now. Yeah, very intimate right now in between Sova, of course, and Viper as they kind of just wiggle back and forth. Obviously, we're going to see a little teabag action coming out as well. Maybe Illusion can find a frag here. It's going to be Psych able to find one. And now Luff versus 5 in the chance of a lifetime in the finals to try to get one. The spray down coming through. Here's Luff, of course. Recon bolt going to be used, going to be instantly destroyed as Ming still tries to get those sprays through the wall here. Obviously made out of paper mache or hopes and dreams. Take your pick. They both work as Luff here. Going to eat the flash. Not a lot happening now. Here's one on Ming. Can you find a second on Chloric? That's going to be the big question. You can. Hey, you have the Hunter's Fury now. You have an opportunity as Dory is sitting here looking to push, but those footsteps might be heard, and this is going to be dangerous, right? The spike still in spawn, so both players of Fisher going back to the spike. I think this is going to end up being a save for Luff.
Yeah, but what a massive save and what a lot of damage to really recover what he could. You're put into a 1v5 after all your friends die in front of you, but then you're able to get 3 and make it a lot tougher. Granted, it's the lower 3 of Fisher right now, but this is a squad that was absolutely dunking on you harder than Space Jam, and they are looking to at least regain some footing. So good job on Luff holding their nerve and a good gun in their hands to be able to find 3. Yeah, send us back over to it. 3 for Logan almost immediately, especially from distance. That last one hurt the most because what a spray transfer to make it happen, but Luff just a survivor in the craziest sense.
And he got wall banged headshot, and that's why Phantom feels bad sometimes right there, because I think I don't want to speak things into existence because caster math is hard, but I'm pretty sure if he got Vandal headshot through that wall, it would have been a kill. Instead, it's a Phantom headshot, and there it is. 5-4 right now in favor of Grand Valley State on their map pick. On the attack, looking to take out most of Ming's util here. Hunter's Fury going to come out as well. Not going to find a lot with it. Is Luff just kind of sitting there, and I swear I heard it, but it's just disappeared now.
You just kind of put it away. Put it in the backpack. Yeah, if you use it immediately and then you just put it away, it actually like does the whole Thunderbolt thing and it charges forever. That's not true, but Pokemon is pretty fun game. Psych and Logan though are pretty good at finding headshots, and they will immediately get 2, and there's a lot of damage onto Grand Valley's Jet. So this is turning into another rough situation, especially because Ming will stuff them after the ping is finding them. So 2 stuck in cave, a very hurt Del Taco. Again, will be pinged. So this is a rough situation. This is one of those that maybe you also still play into a save. Get the guns, run away. You can. It's gonna turn 5-5 here in a hurry. I didn't quite see what the remainder of the eco is, but they're at least gonna get an ult point before maybe they're eventually gunned down.
Yeah, eco not looking great on the side of Grand Valley State University, especially going into its high. I think holding on to these guns is vital right now, and Del Taco playing the headshot angle here, looking for Dory. The jiggle peek though is going to reveal the position, and everybody is just going to collapse at once. They want to get the rifles out of the hands. There's Dory finding one. Here's everybody collapsing on Del Taco. 3, 2, it counts down, gets 1 for his trouble, but not going to find anything else. We are notched up at 5s heading into round 6, and Grand Valley State on a massive save.
This game, subgenre, it's attack shooter, but as its primary genre, but its subgenre is definitely horror. It most certainly is, because either one, you get surprised, just alerted whenever someone comes from around a corner because you did not hear them, or 2, you get swarmed, and it's just not fun to deal with these kind of very smart and just crazy zombie people. So 5-5 inside of this first half of what is again Grand Valley's pick, going on to Breeze, and so far it's been some slight errors in overall play, but really it's just been great comeback by Fisher to make use of the last couple of rounds. You have the Hunter's Fury that does go down in distance. Chloric and Dory make quick work of both dive and Arax, and Del Taco may find 1 on the Blade Storm. They need to find even more because they're dropping like flies. Early kills have been at the bane of Grand Valley, but again, they're on kind of an eco, so it's rough to be able to play against that power diff in favor of Fisher.
Illusion is going to find a Guardian here, though, and they have been doing work, but Logan's going to find Del Taco, and I think that's going to end the hopes and dreams of this save round, and it, in fact, does. At least we're going to have the full buy versus the full buy to end this out, potentially at 6-6, but that's Fisher just kind of flexing their muscles a little bit there. They understand that the eco is happening. They see that Grand Valley's been a little bit more hesitant in pushing sites since, I mean, honestly, Ming has just been a menace to society. They're 7 and 8. That impact is not felt properly just by the presence and just the information that they've been able to get as this cipher here on this A site. And as this continues moving forward, I want to see Grand Valley be a bit more decisive in this round and maybe going forward on attack as well, because obviously we didn't get to see a lot of them on Haven attack, so maybe they haven't really found their groove yet. But Logan has found his groove and is looking for a 3K in the exact same spot he was in before.
It's not the exact same groove that was there on Haven, but it's definitely just as lethal. Ming has been that player, like, you know, everyone has that agreement to delete my internet history whenever I die. Well, Ming is that guy that's been able to hack in, find it, and absolutely expose you post-mortem. And it's not fair, it's not fun to play against, but they share the love based on going to 7 and 8 or otherwise just supporting their squad, and it is tough to have to play against and around. 6-5, Fisher College would love to be able to take a streak of wins. I think they have 2 or 3 in a row right now to force Grand Valley into a 2-pit hold. That is 3. So yes, thank you, observers. Awesome production here today, especially as ECAC is presenting such a fantastic final. But it is Grand Valley that wants to keep even footing, and this is going to be a Viper's Pit expended for direct denial to make it very, very tough to get onto Site B. May make Grand Valley think again.
And there's only 35 seconds left in the round, Monkey Man. This is going to be so difficult. Psych actually has the flank, going to take out Illusion right here. So it's already a 5v4. You're going to get the shock bolt coming out as well. Del Taco's going to find one on the lurk. Are they going to re-aggress towards B? You don't have a lot of time, and Dory is just removing everybody. Spike is down. You can now hold this, but Dive coming back through elbow. Going to be able to find one. There is Logan, and this is just going to be tough sledding ahead. This situation is not pretty, but the drop down from Del Taco going to find one. You just have to go for the kills here. You don't care about any of that, and Logan is going to dispose of Del Taco with the Blade Storm. We're going to finish up the half at 7-5, and Monkey Man, despite the rough start that Fisher had here, obviously they dropped those first 2 after winning the pistol round. So I'm sorry, it flipped on me. I hate it when that happens.
So good.
The three rounds after round 3 go into the favor of Grand Valley. It looks like they start to build momentum, and then Fisher College just absolutely slams the door shut towards the end of that round.
It feels so much like a lot of that momentum for the Falcons began at that renegotiation from A to B when the plant didn't go down, and then it was ultimately Ming that found that clutch up in that 1v1. Just as soon as that death happened, as soon as that round fell, all the cards started falling a little bit faster and more fortuitously for Fisher. There's a lot of F's in the chat, but that's only for fortune, which favors the bold, and that are the Falcons right now who are flying high. We go into the first pistol round. Well, I guess the only pistol round of the second half, and Grand Valley is going to have to receive this attack. And look at that little mohawk on top of that pyramid. I love that.
Yeah, it's always great to see it. I always angle mine up enough. Just like Del Taco angling their gun up enough to get some dome shots. Dive finds their second as well, and now it's 4v1. Clark, what?
Wow. Oh.
Okay.
It was close.
Okay, so a little too close for comfort, right? A little too close if Grand Valley. You know, you're in a 5v1, and, you know, Clark finds 3, but you survive. You're able to make it 7-6. Now, it's integral. Absolutely integral here that you're able to win your bonus round. That is literally what I feel like the decider of this map, with how close it's been back and forth. I really feel, honestly, like it is going to come down to who wins this bonus round, because I mean, obviously having that cipher going to stifle a lot of offense. Having that KO as well helps with that. Those double initiators, obviously Logan and Del Taco both popping off like they always do. So that's not a surprise, Monkey Man. But I really feel like this is integral if Grand Valley wants to take their own map pick.
Yeah, Grand Valley has so far not been able to string together a couple of round wins in the early 3 for either of these sites. And I feel like I'm speed running a Legend of Zelda game to be able to go over these castle walls. And maybe the same is felt as Fisher is trying to get through the main archway, but they will face off against that poison orb. So there's a lot of vulnerability and weakness awaiting them if they choose to do so. They at least have the toxic screen wall available. And I often, whenever I play Viper on this, about 50-50 on Breeze as her, but I like to be able to create feints off of that wall. Maybe setting it down and using it, but it's all of a facade. But that is a massive amount of blinds, and they're able to get that cleaned up as Illusion takes down Dory from distance. They are fish in a barrel, being shot from left, right, and center, and very little HP in a dream. But that's gonna be a quick tap. Del Taco takes care of business. How about that? They get the first 2.
Yeah, apparently it's Taco Tuesday right now. It's a great job by Del Taco. Currently top frag in the lobby with 16. Probably going to see the operator come out here. And on Jet, we know how on defense, how oppressive that operator can be. We saw it for basically an entire year with Chamber, right? Like Jet opping was the blast from the past before that. They might actually be saving out of here and instead buying their util and biding time for the next one. They're going to go full bonus this round. Wow. They're not going to force the round 3 op. They're going to trust their guns and stick to them. And here comes a hard default from Fisher. And I do have to say, I think this is the first time that I have seen them kind of just take a step back and attack a little bit slower.
And that is a lot of respect to their opponent right now. They recognize what's happening. But Dory with the disrespect onto Del Taco's dome as they will be dropped early. And now Dory is going to try and treat this as if this is the video game Doom and go straight into the hellscape at the other end of the hallway. Logan will lose against a Spectre. Thought he had the headshot, but Dive found it just a little bit faster. Chloric on the trade and will plant Illusion quite soundly into the floor. And now in the Cypher 1v3 on B side, and you have this trade with Dory who hits it as well. There's some good duels that are happening to put this into a 2v2 situation. Very winnable for Grand Valley to get their full bonus.
And Grand Valley should be able to obtain rifles here with their positioning, so that's going to be massive. It's going to be even all the way up as the tripwire is gotten on that flank. So they're going to know that one's going to be coming from the backside. Now the question is, do they know that Arax is just sitting here right now in mid? That's going to be the big question that we're going to have to find out. Is they probably hear the drop down right there as you see Psych going back towards site. It's a little bit of a slow retake right now, but obviously you're working, of course, with a KO and a Sova, so intel should not be hard to find as they both go towards elbow. This is going to be tough sledding ahead, but they have the opportunity, and it looks like they might just be looking to try to find some picks. It's a good job by Psych right there. Luff is probably just going to save the gun, and we are going to end up with Fisher College able to pull out the round. Luff actually just going to try to take some pot shots, see if he can find anything. It's not going to happen, and 8-7 right now. Economy kind of swinging both ways right now, but we should have full buys on both sides.
It's a little bit of a swing, but you got to feel good for Grand Valley on their recovery. Fisher is able to ultimately take the round, and you're going to have light shields. You will finally see that operator go into the hands of Del Taco and Psych. I'm not exactly sure what this lineup is, and I think it's into the recon dart. So I want to see where this goes, where this falls. I think they're going to try and sight out who is hanging out in Nest or maybe into middle arches going over into B. Let's see where this lands. And it's more of an elbow peek, seeing if anyone is going to come out straight from the corridor, but no one was there. Everyone kind of hung back more onto backline sites, so Illusion will eventually step up into the fray, and I think they were doing that to open up space for their operator op user to be a little bit more sound and safe out in mid. They don't want to get immediately killed from that off angle and Nest, but This is a lot of mid hold, and they're gonna be finding some gadgets, tripwires, and more hanging out into this mid doors.
And all of that is being heard right now as Dive actually going to get shock wired out of their camera. They don't care. They go right back to it. They don't know how many are here. It's going to be tough sledding ahead for them as they get spotted and immediately just mollywopped by 3 members of Fisher College with the trades coming out. Del Taco finding 1, finding 2. Here's another opportunity to maybe find the 3rd. We're playing around pyramids. Ring around the rosy we go. And there's the dash. And unfortunately just tries to get the peak. Maybe a little bit of an overheat there for Del Taco. It's now a 2v2 and a plant's going down on A.
Sometimes you're a jet that just feels like you gotta use your tailwind, and sometimes you gotta be reminded, don't do that. Just stick around where you have a hard surface nearby and chill. Grand Valley, we're gonna be able to get through this retake and then go to the north side. Is this the same? This is the same 2v2 from just a round ago. Okay. All right, let's see if this 2v2 electric boogaloo, if this is gonna be the same outcome all over again. Lots of recon being sent out, but it's ultimately gonna be a lot of trades. Arax finds another one, and that will be the defuse coming in hot and ready. We're gonna go to 8-8 through the first 16. Grand Valley keeping pace, keeping lockstep with the Falcons.
I'm loving this, but the biggest part is too, this is like basically the great reset minus the op being saved, of course. both teams going to be struggle busing just a little bit for that econ. Look at Luff, $1,500. Dive has to buy here. Luff going to be looking at probably just that classic. Illusion opting for the same. And you see the scuffed buy on the other side as well because only one person lives. Luckily enough, Del Taco able to keep that operator, but everything else, actually Del Taco was able to buy their team. So we're going to see full rifles versus a mixed buy. And it's really curious to me. Obviously, everybody makes the comparison in between CSGO and Valorant. There are a lot of similarities. The main striking difference is the utility opens up a little bit more in Valorant to allow these mixed buys to be successful in rounds compared to how they are in CS.
That's very true. Yeah, some of the utility that you get for these agents is just so quintessential. Del Taco said, you know what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and they took one straight through the talk screen. They know where a lot of these guys tend to stand. The Viper Spit is in fact down. They get flashed, be forced off of stairs. I swear this man has X-ray vision, just taking shots right around bricks. They're expecting them to stand exactly there, and everyone is running for their lives for Fisher to get away from these op bullets.
Yeah, I mean, Dory has the lineup potential, but the pit is going to drop. And look at the 5 people that are sitting here right now. So that's going to be a spot from the KO. It's going to be halved here. One enemy remains as Dory trying to do everything they can. And there's a shot, just going to miss it. Dory actually gets the defuse, though. Del Taco is going to be able to pick this one up? Question mark, exclamation point. Yes, 0.7 remains, and probably a little bit too close for comfort for Grand Valley here, especially because Fisher mainly saved kind of adjacent, right? So they're going to bring a couple more rifles in, and both these teams, Monkey Man, are just throwing haymakers at this point. They don't care. They're forcing up everything they possibly can, and they're like, hey, guess what? We're going at it. We don't care what our money situation is like. We're going to buy up and just continue to try to basically assert our dominance.
Yeah, this is less of a measured chess match and more of a game of checkers in the middle of a barroom brawl, and the table just got flipped and everyone's still trying to pick up pieces, and then you're just getting your jaw socked by someone who just came through the door. It is constant melee. They don't care what guns, how much shield, and it's great. I love seeing two contenders that were able to rise through the ranks and through, lower seeding into this big bracket and in this moment in this final. Throw it all in the kitchen sink. It's still an early map. It's one that Grand Valley on their pick definitely needs to happen if they don't want to have to reverse sweep against Fisher. But hey, Fisher's got some confidence, and I'm sure that they're talking it out right now with their coaching staff. Do we see, all right, how do we start taking better control? Because they, I think, definitely recognize what you're talking about. The eco is a little bit sus.
Yeah. And I mean, you basically just perfectly described a ballroom blitz, right? Like,
Yep.
It's a ballroom blitz as we get in 10 seconds away, of course, from round number 18. As Fisher College tries to even the odds, we're going to see them with a full save again. We're going to see some Spectres, some Vandals, and of course, Del Taco with that operator. Can't say any of us are surprised by that development, as Del Taco's really been looking for it. The Bladestorm going to be committed here as well from Logan. And here's Dive with an opportunity to take out Dory. And there is the answer. The smokes are going to be down from Fisher. We talked about how difficult it was to attack sites on Breeze without Viper. Well, they're down in the early round, and you're on an eco. You're just going to have to press and hope you get some kills here.
Yep, it's time to be able to create space, get through, and get messy. You got the Bladestorm in hand. I need to see if Logan is going to find some quick kills, but it is Del Taco that retreats, and because of the investment of that very large, very awesome rifle, they play a little bit safer, and that's something that you could actually work against Grand Valley, and I love the footwork to be able to get that Cypher in long haul and take down Dory whenever they had just a Spectre in hand. Illusion finds them, and they'll find two off the wall bang. Dive gets another Illusion, gets a 3K, and this will be a great defusal and 10-round run. Well, not all in one gist. That'd be amazing. 10 rounds in a row. That'd be basically what Fisher did before, but it's gotta feel good for Grand Valley to be in this position. This is not what they experienced in your first map, but not one map, but does a whole series make.
And I think we're seeing really the comfort picks come out in the first two, right? Like Haven for Fisher just looked absolutely different. Here, Grand Valley starting to pull away a little bit, just looks a little bit more polished, especially even though they only took 5 rounds on attack. With the changes, if you remember when Breeze first came out, Monkey Man, it was extremely attacker sided. It was very hard to hold sites as defender. Obviously, Riot noticed that and was like, hey, we're going to make some changes here and there as Illusion commits the Viper's Pit onto B site, kind of trying to snuff out this early push. But now a little bit more defender side, and you see it coming through. Del Taco almost gets caught by Logan, gonna retreat away from that one. A snake bite committed as well to try to cut off that angle as Logan really tries to press through this, and they're just gonna fight out this Viper's pit, and Logan gonna find one and get traded out immediately by Dive, and Illusion's gonna find one in the pit. That is absolutely massive.
Oh, and being saved, Dive stays alive as they are saved by that shot from behind him, and Del Taco gets psych. As you know, I like whenever you get teams that are not just confident but also willing to get a little bit into the ego of, all right, you put the Viper pit down here, we like B. Site B is pretty cool. That's where we want to set up our fort, and they immediately navigate around. The decision making was good, but they just cannot currently stand up to the lethality and the precision shots that Del Taco is getting. Yeah, I know, op crutching, that's cool. Put a bullet down range, it'll hit something, but I've seen people swerve away from actually being accurate with that. And so now with Fisher College in this steep situation of their eco, they're going to have light shields, they're going to have a busted buy, and they're going to have to save into this, and that may just allow Grand Valley to get to match point. But Ming will get a headshot first before the trade, and another smoke of Dory going down hits the floor, so it's going to be tough to go into this 3v3, but neither side has Viper now.
Oh, that swing right there as well. And they're just trading out the Vandal, just playing, I mean, honestly, just handing it around like hot potato as the players from Fisher are falling. It's a very strong push, of course, onto this B site right now. That hold is pretty much filthy as the rotate comes through to A, but Dive is going to have a read on this from the back of site, I believe. Now, is the camera spotted? I think it is. So Ming at least might not know where the plants is going down, but this is pretty standard stuff. And there is that camera that they tried to pre-fire. It is now gone, but they know the spike is A. They know one is behind Pyramid, and now it's going to be a 3v2 retake. And also the Hunter's Fury still in tow for Grand Valley State University.
You have one with Psych. Actually, you have dueling Hunter's Furies if you want to. Dive is going to try and infiltrate from the back line, create a sandwich pincer move situation. They would be able to do that, but they have to press up with a little bit of extra pace if they really want to get to 12. And then in this 3v1, it is a rough time for Ming as they are caught. It was a spy v spy situation, but you had the one better with Dive as Grand Valley State GVSU. The Lakers will be going up to match point 12-8. Now, I need to know, you did say when you get to 8, there's hope, but is that the same when you've had all this momentum from Grand Valley?
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's when that one team is storming back and you're in that cycle of sin and deliverance that you find Fisher College in right now, right? It's that precision moment where, you know, you're on your buy this round, you might get to 9, but if you lose enough players, you're going to be on another busted buy again. So this really has to be well executed by Fisher College. They've already used their timeout this half. So I mean, looking at it, they have to really come in strong here. Logan going to be trying to take some Hall's control. We're going to see if that works out. Actually, multiple trying to take Hall's control. This is going to be interesting with Dive here as well. And actually, was an Owl Drone committed as well? They are pushing up Halls like it's running out of style. The spray going to come through, tag up a couple, but they're going to get through door as Dive is just sitting here hoping they can make it through this, as this is a very dangerous position to be in. Luff going to find one. The trading, of course. Hunter's Fury's coming out, and the spike's going to go down, and we're in a 3v3 situation again, but the neural theft going to come out, and this second ping might be huge.
Our poor observers were caught in a hopes and dreams situation to figure out who wasn't dying. But you know what? Kudos to them, showcasing all to you how this retake may go down. Grand Valley State situation that they could take advantage of, but the Viper's Pit is in fact down. And because of that limited amount of time, they're not going to step away from it too far. Only seconds, but they do put one infiltration. And Logan on the back corner will be able to get rid of one, another, and they will not get the spray down, and there will be the Viper's Pit that will go down in a 2v1, but they don't have a whole lot of HP, and Logan is finally hitting their shot. So, after surrendering 7 rounds of 8 to Grand Valley on their defensive half, it will finally be the second that's gained for Fisher College. That's one step towards maybe getting themselves to double digits and maybe stalling the Lakers until overtime.
It's going to be that moment, right? Illusion here right now, I think Dive is going to be able to purchase them. So we're going to see how this buy kind of shakes out here. And it is, in fact, going to be a purchase. So we're going to see rifles versus rifles all the way down. However, if Grand Valley loses this one, I said 8-12 is kind of the danger zone, right? If you get to 10 and you know Grand Valley has to save, it's going to be tough sledding ahead for them as Of course, the null command coming out, the rush from mid doors, not even seen. Logan going to be on site. Dory and Chloric both wipe out Del Taco and dive. The site is open. The neural theft is committed as well. This is going to be massive right now for Fisher College's chances.
Oh boy. As soon as it felt like GVSU had found a lot of good footing, now suddenly you get back into this strange cycle, and Luff isn't exactly in safe waters on top of these stairs, and this 3v5, the retake is going to be really, really rough. Now, interesting take that it could provide. Doesn't matter because Arax is able to put bullets in its skulls, is maybe to save those rifles and create a like an off situation when it comes to that buy. But no, they're going to go all in, take it to the 2v3, make the hero moment happen, and it's Illusion that's holding this tight corner. They have to get this defusal off, but you do have the lineups, and that's been put right in front of them. Chloric is able to delete Illusion, and maybe being found from distance. Yes, they are. Ming deletes Luff from the equation. So 12-10. All right. This is a situation that GVSU did not want to be in. I would take a timeout. Yes, there it is. So they're gonna have to talk about it because they know the eco's on the way, and so does Fisher.
So with this, right, I don't even think you plan for the eco round. I honestly think you maybe rush 5 out of B, like elbow, and just try to get you some, get it over with, and just plan for your next round here, because you're looking at it and you see a couple with buys right now. I'm hoping that doesn't go through because Del Taco, not Bladestorm, not available, right? You're at 2 of 7. There's no chance to get it this round, even if you get a nice trade. Obviously, Luff can purchase, Illusion can purchase. Do you just kind of rely on Del Taco to maybe try to hang back and trade a gun and see what happens? Because obviously, Logan is sitting there, no gun as well, but Bladestorm online. So you're going to have basically a full kit versus, a 4v5, essentially classics. Very hard to get kills with against rifles. I'm sitting here just wondering what Grand Valley has planned if they want to try to shut this down before it hits, 11, 12.
And you got Illusion can buy, maybe not full. I think they can nearly get full kit because it'll be left.
Yeah, they can get full kit.
Yeah, they can get full kit. Luff can do the same. So your Del Taco is short of it. Do you have that 4v5? If they play buddy system, I'm not sure of it. It does seem that they did talk about it. They're going to play for next. Okay, this is your smartest decision because at worst, you end up in overtime. That's not great because, Fisher has been able to post up pretty well, but you give yourself a chance. They seem to have a buddy system style with it, though, as they're going to play Hero Rifle with 1 Vandal, and they're going to get aggressive into mid. So see if they can get some early kills and play right around that Vandal in hand.
Yeah, and we're going to see if it works as Del Taco has that dash online. We're going to see if they use it as A site basically overrun right now, and Dive just looking to be a menace to society, potentially come around and wrap around, but Ming should have that on lock as they're still just camping out in spawn side. So this is going to be dangerous. A nice little shock dart to delay the plant. As this comes down right now, also the KO Molly coming out and all those shock darts, all of that, and Ming has been found by Del Taco. This is going to be massive. If the flank watch is gone, there's one shot, there's 2 shots, and no, the headshot will not connect. And Grand Valley now in a 4v5 without the rest, but the shots are going to be found. It happened. The flash coming out. Logan trying to hit this Bladestorm, going to get one. Dory finds another. It's going to be a 2v3. And will this buy come back to haunt them is the real question.
It's winnable. It's doable. The plant's just now happening. Plenty of time now, obviously, because it eventually hits. I expected that one to go a little bit quicker, but they were kind of worried about that direct flank. Do they see it? No! Quick 5, and they will die. So now it's a 1v3. Dive is just dancing. He's like, all right, I got a Spectre. Everyone's pretty far away. There's about to be some sort of crossfire that I have to walk into. And so, Cyber Cage goes down. Will they start to spam it? They can't hear the audible intel, but the laser sights are there, and so is the headshot. So, 12-11. I'm wondering what this eco looks like. They're going to have just enough, I believe, to give themselves at least some good rifles. Let's look at it. It seems that everyone will be able to buy in and up, and just zeroing out is Luff. So, interesting. Regardless, GVSU, they need to get it done right here. They don't want to face Fisher into an OT, especially one that's been able to gain this much momentum.
Yeah, especially off the back. You said 7 out of 8 rounds went in the direction of Grand Valley State University, right? The Lakers came out on fire on defense. They had a plan, and now you see Fisher College start to make these adjustments, and that's why those rounds on offense are so important here. It's because when those adjustments happen, you have to be able to build yourself up enough of a lead just to be able to survive moments like this. But you only get 5, on attack, and you end up in a situation like this where you're on zeros. And you have to clutch this up now. And Arax going to be spotted, gets tagged up. No, actually doesn't lose any. Hell, somehow, some way survives here. between 2 in tube. And I mean, I like the kind of default heavy-ish A leaning that we're seeing right now, and it's pretty sure it's just about to bust down. The doors are going to come coming down, and we're going to have a bloodbath on the A site.
They're just going to throw everything aside, and they're going to punch through all of this metal. Bullet penetration, be damned. And I wish my toaster was as hardy as the likes of Arax, because they just survived some quick bullet spray. But that is going to be Logan that faces the music, and so does Del Taco, as Psych is able to find him. Psych is going to hold this tight perimeter, but no, it's going to be Dive that comes up. Big Cloric finally gets rid of that big killer, and it's a full HP bar remaining for Ming. 1 versus 3, make it them taking a knee, and that'll be Fisher succeeding 1 game. We go to a 1-1 scoreline in the series. Grand Valley State, they hold their nerve, and they hold out just long enough to take it 13-11, Visionary.
That is absolutely massive. Of course, even if, you know, Fisher might have dominated round 1, but you come out, you win your map pick, it doesn't have to be pretty. The score is now even at 1-1. We don't care about round differential. We don't care about any of that. We're not playing for tiebreakers. We're playing a best of 5 to see who the champion, of course, of the ECAC is. So you take your map pick, you're feeling good about it. We're going to move on forward to our next map, of course. And for Grand Valley, the pressure's on in that scenario, because if that goes to that overtime, I am thoroughly convinced that Fisher finds a way to pull it off with the momentum they had built up.
Yeah, they took a nice timeout to be able to get themselves in the right state of mind, but ultimately there was a resistance that had to be made. But this time around, we're going to be going into a map number 3, and it is anyone's guess who will be able to get that map point, that match point, that championship point here for the fall semester. For the moment, though, we're going to be taking a short break. Be back with us for more of the ECAC finals right after this.
I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. You're offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I have, I have the spike. I have the spike. This is, in case you didn't know, this is a spike. So, if you don't know how this game works, by the way, ECAC Valorant Fall Finals are going on right now. If you see this happening, by the way, I guess maybe like don't look at this if you have epilepsy, by the way. But we're seeing how spike planting works because that's what's been going down between these two squads. We've gone through a couple of maps. We went through the likes of Haven, which was a 13-7 shellacking. If you think that score was close, it was not. It was 12-2 at one point in time. And then we got to see a Breeze map, which arguably, it was said by Visionary 1 and everyone else, that was the strongest map for GVSU for the Lakers. And, a little bit of planting, I think, can be done better by both these squads to be able to get this one down. It was done very well by the Falcons when things first started off for Fisher on Haven. And I got to see what they're going to do and maybe where some defaults are for Bind. Do you typically plant at truck when you go to A site, Visionary?
Yeah, I'll typically plant at truck, and fortunately enough, we have a Sage that we like to run with a lot. So
Okay.
you have the wall to protect you as well, which is nice. So I think truck is the default plant, just like box is kind of the default plant on Breeze B, but we saw it not kind of used. So we'll see what happens and what kind of things develop. Obviously, we're going to bind. For me, kind of a site hit simulator or a default simulator, obviously there is no mid to actually get map control on. So it's just kind of difficult to navigate this map sometimes. And I think that's why we're seeing it get brought out of the pool in January. I would love to see a mid with a Dust 2 style mid doors, with a door or an entrance that basically leads into U-Haul and an entrance that leads into the cubby of B site with the sites pushed back just a little bit and widen the map to allow for some control, because it's really difficult to just kind of 5-man or kind of split push again and again and again on these sites.
I like the concept that maybe Bind will turn into a Bind 2. Change teleporter positioning and, just renegotiate some of that into maybe run them in reverse. Where are they placed? I think it'd be neat to replace that. But we will see a dual controller composition out of Fisher, which I think is one of my more favorite, types. But to also be recognized, the chamber will be ran on this map. And I think this is one of the safer maps right now with the changes that Chamber did go through to still play him because of proximity when it comes to your rendezvous. I think that still can work out quite well, especially if they're playing with a little bit more safety when it comes to smokes off of the Viper and the Brimstone combination. Whereas opposite of that, we're playing into the Killjoy on the defending half, I think, for GVSU. So, I mean, What's your take into that? Because the closeness of where that anchor goes for that teleport, it's a little bit nuanced now, I'd say, and you have to make sure it doesn't die as early.
The classic spot where Chamber threw his trip, right? If you were on offense, was always on those stairs leading out from spawn. That is now out of the question, because by the time you push onto site, it's kind of useless unless you're just going to hang back, try to use those long range weapons, the headhunter, the tour de force, be able to get that. So the trademark not as useful there. So you have to play it a little bit closer to site. Now, since you're playing dual controllers, you can obviously expect the Molly lineups to come out with, of course, the incendiary and the snake bites. So when I'm looking at that, it doesn't lead to that protection that they would have had before with Chamber. Although I don't mind the pick here. I think you're right. It's just more nuanced and they're going to have to get used to it. And you see the trademark now as they try to hit A being placed off of those stairs. So theoretically, a flank from behind into spawn could come through.
That's very true. So, you know, change is different and not always bad. Psych is able to get first blood in the entirety of map number 3, and they will be planting into truck just outside of lamps. So, hold this one from distance. They do, in fact, have those lineups, and they have kind of dual lineups that they really want to, but they're going to hold it in close proximity, especially from one, or actually a couple leaned into showers, and it's a full 5 versus the 4 of Grand Valley. Make it 3 as Psych continues to put the hurt, and again, it's a difference of also having the raise, and that was a lot of kills that happened all of a sudden. I did not expect that to happen in that flurry, but everyone hit the floor faster than what we got to see.
Yeah, Dory said just keep swimming. Just pushed around the backside of U-Haul, was able to catch the 2. They were pushing in together, trying to take out Psych, of course. And Psych, interesting enough, was the Sova player for the first 2 matchups. We're going to see them on Raze now, and obviously Logan moving to that Chamber. So a little bit of variation that we're seeing from Fisher College. I don't think it's going to hurt them at all. And I like kind of the return, to be honest with you, Monkey Man, I really like kind of the return to 2021 and early 2020 Valorant, right? Where you have the double controllers on bind, where you're seeing these lineups be playable again, and we're seeing 2 completely valid comps, right? That are coming out that are actually going to be respectable and be able to be used in high level situations.
Now, I will continue to kind of lean on you, mostly to just see what you think about the difference of the duelist. Quick flash as you're able to put the guiding light out, and that's going to be another quick trade as they do just bum rush into B long and take over the garden. But Del Taco gets to see him for all of a second before they go night-night off of the headhunter from Logan. And that is the difference of not having Jet v Jet. We have a Jet, but we also have the Raze create so much space off of those paint shells to get one. Dive will take a dive to the floor mat in Hookah. That'll be the first 2 to go over to Fisher. Do you like the Raze picks into bind? Because I've seen it be awesome, but I've also just I've loved variations of my duelist on bind.
For me, there's 2 duelists that I would consider optimal for bind, just personally. I think Raze, because there is a lot of those tight-knit corners and crannies that are on this site, the Boombot, the paint shells get a lot of value here, right? And that's something that Jet can't bring you. So, I mean, replacing that with a mainly operator that we get to see out of Del Taco, it makes sense. But I do prefer the Raze. The other one, I'm going to throw this out there, and a lot of people may not agree with me. Yoru's actually really good on this site just because there is no mid, right? So the ability to rotate in between the 2 sites quickly, I think really plays into a strong Yoru play just because of the sheer fact that you're able to go ahead and run through that and be able to support your team quicker. I think that's vital.
No, I completely agree with that. And it's also the most clever type situations that you can be able to find for this map when it comes to the dimensional drift and be able to move around everyone as fast as possible. And so far, so good for Fisher to move as fast as possible through the first 3. This was their second map pick between all of our different bands. Ming will step through showers without a care. They're going to look for the bank shot when it comes to their snake bite, and now they're looking for a direct duel and will win it against Del Taco. Arax is able to at least get 1, but again, Dory gets the final kill of the round. That's 3 in a row. That's the first time I think that we've seen today, instead of a split of 3, 2 in 1 different directions. That's Fisher just getting right back to what's more comfortable, and that's just winning. They've only died twice.
Yeah, just winning gunfights. It's the Fisher way. There's a reason why they're ranked number 3 on, of course, VLR's college Valorant system. They are, I mean, I don't want to say goated with the sauce, but they basically are. You see the gunfights going in between these teams, and obviously Grand Valley State had their day on Breeze, right? Like that was their map pick going into it. It's been their pocket pick for the entirety of this playoffs, and it played out in their favor. Now you have to go back to kind of one of those default maps against a comp that you probably haven't seen in your own experience in ranked or, you know, in competitive play in quite a while. And it might just be a little bit awkward, and we're going to see those adjustments potentially coming out later with the double controller. But we're going to see, of course, those stingers those Spectres and those Shorties from Del Taco coming out right here, trying to hold down on this B site.
How many people can you kill in short succession with the Shorty? Smoke will be going down. The Tailwind will as well. And then their safety measure is gone. Oh, that's very unfortunate timing for the Tailwind to die at the same time as the Smoke. So Del Taco hits the floor. Will cry for a minute. But with the Sheriff in hand, Illusion takes out their twinsie. So they do have at least this Cubby to have to deal with. And though Psych is stunned off of the Pathfinder, they eliminate the Sky. The Tasmanian Devil Dog will get kicked out and found. Dive again. Cannot stand being away from Hookah. This is like their favorite room, and they always die here. They're committed to this room.
To be fair, they wouldn't be the first person to pass out in a Hookah lounge.
True.
True. I mean, it kind of happens. But you know, I do respect the ability to flank, right? Because when you get onto site as a chamber, that trademark is gone. So you're going to continue to put that pressure on the backside. I don't think it necessarily needs to be done every single round, but you're kind of conditioning, right? So if you come with more numbers on site, maybe that surprises them a little bit. Maybe they get caught off guard and have to hold those people back watching that flank. I think it's kind of integral just for that setup, as we see Del Taco on top of truck right here, hoping to take down Logan. And there is the Viper Wall, and the beauty of running 2 controllers on this map.
It's so difficult to be a Jet and face off against all that smoke. You have your own pocket smokes, but it's nothing compared to what they have. And this is going to be a conga line of attack from Fisher here in Showers, as the first 4 has gone to the Falcons. Del Taco renegotiates and goes up to Heaven, opposite side. And this doesn't allow for an easy rotate away either, because you don't have the teleporter right next to you if you were into that main A link into short. But does allow you to have at least those barriers. But again, those are paper-thin walls. Arax is able to find one. A wall bang gets rid of Logan, and Arax finds another as they're dropping like flies. It is not a fun shower time for the gang of Fisher.
Yeah, there's a certain meme that obviously has been passed around in a lot of Valorant Discords. I'm not going to say it out loud because it's not appropriate, but yeah, showers can be one of those choke points to where you don't have a lot of fun in. I'll just put it that way and try to keep it as PG as possible as Dory tries to push up here. The 2 controllers are still alive together, but that's going to be a spot out, and that's going to make this a little bit more difficult. Del Taco just holding that angle, just looking, knowing they have Ming trapped in this corner. It's going to come down to everything else. The wall bangs, the paper mache. There's Del Taco, gets the 1. Dory's going to probably try to fake a plant here, maybe try to get some value out of this swing. So they just kind of crouch walk around, and there's Del Taco with 3. The operator obviously has been his strong suit basically for the entire playoffs. It's going to continue being so as Grand Valley finally gets on the board. And
you got to consider as well, Fisher, they go for plays. I mean, they either play default, they win their duels, they go to kind of just positioning that they are so key off of when it comes to like just combining their util. But they're also like, you know what? Let's send like 4 out of the 5 of us into showers. Why not? And it's because they have the leniency of literally winning the first 4 rounds. They can play around. And I love seeing that because you know that they're just like, let's try this. Why not? And then they go back to business. And so we'll get to see that recovery. And they're going to be sending at least more numbers into Hookah. But they always lean that bomb out onto the teleporter side on B long in case they need to rotate out, because they could lose those numbers early.
They could lose those numbers early, and that is a phantom head tap right there. Unfortunate Del Taco is able to get the frag there, as B site is going to be there. Oh, the double updraft right here. Opportunity for Del Taco. Doesn't spot anybody, though. They are going to get healed by the Sky to at least get back up to 94, so can take a couple body shots, maybe survive those, as you see the Seekers rolling out as well, looking to just mark everybody on the site for Fisher College. Bladestorm, only ultimate that's active right now. Dory going to get spotted here inside a tube, going to get mollied out a little bit, so that chip damage coming through, but nobody really pushing on site yet, and Cloric's going to find 2. Dory finds another one as Luff gets it, and it's a huge attacker win for Fisher College.
You would think that the initial frag would slow them down, but if anything, it just galvanized their efforts. It said, how dare you? We're going to take B, and that's going to happen off of just a great force. They get through in the Sky Smokes, and then they just take over site. And as soon as they really kind of consolidated and eliminated where Del Taco was, it felt like there was nothing else to have to deal with. Everyone else eventually falls, and you can't retake very quickly when it comes to an operator, especially with all your sites gone, and that's the power of having 2 controllers. You do have an orbital strike available to Grand Valley if they maybe want to get that into into a bit of this eco, but they try to keep that in their back pocket. The first half of the first half, so 5 out of 6 goes Fisher College, and it's the quick kill off of the showstopper. Psych gets taken down, but they get rid of the dive, so there's a lot of util and gadgets that are now off the board.
Yeah, and you know, a gun retrieved right here for Grand Valley as Logan finds one right there. Ming's going to be here, but I mean, the plan isn't really in an optimal spot for them to hold. They're going to have to get Logan off this angle, and Dory's going to be sitting here as well, just to make it a little bit easier. And I just noticed that they actually planted on truck, so good for them. Nice flick by Logan right there to remove one. There goes Chloric and Ming, and 6-1 we go right now in favor of Fisher College. But I have to ask you, Monkey Man, so like, Bind is one of those streaky maps for me, right? Like, Bind doesn't have an integrated attacker or defender sided to me. It can just kind of violently swing depending on how it goes during the matchup right now. So obviously it looks like attacker sided because Fisher is just going at it, and they kind of look exactly like they did on Haven. Do you think Grand Valley might be able to bring that out since there is no mid control, right? Are their execs going to be as crisp as we're seeing out of Fisher College right now?
See, I think that it has to flow behind Del Taco, because you get into this fun position where the gadgets of Killjoy have that down and distance where they become unusable, so you have to be very tactile where you eventually can use them. But because of the dual initiator, I've seen this story before. Dual initiator versus dual controller. I like that you can be able to get such quick intel in a hurry off of the Sky and the Sova. So I don't know if it's going to be streaking in favor of Grand Valley. We're right back to that confidence that Fisher had in that very first map of Haven. This could be a runaway train. We just go to different tracks, different stations, but it's the same story as soon as we go to their more default but beloved and well-practiced map. Breeze wasn't that. Bind clearly is. I think maybe if you went to a couple of opponents that weren't Fisher, maybe still with Grand Valley involved, that it would be somewhat, 3-4 round streaky. This is Fisher that will maybe drop one at a time. It could turn into 10-2 just like the other one very, very quickly. So, long story short, maybe.
That's the most beautiful answer I've ever heard, Monkey Man, honestly. Like, we're going to bring out all the stops. We're going to answer all the questions at the same time. Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't be a caster if I didn't say that,
Exactly. We're always wrong. That's actually a great swing right there by Illusion. Little stemmy beacon going to be tossed out so they can run back to site. And Luff here going to use the Hunter's Fury as well. Are they going to be able to find any value out of it? That's the question. Going to find one spot there. The shock dart going to come out as well, and it's looking like it might be a plant, as that's a great swing by Psych once again off the combo utility. It is just looking crisp, but right now Psych getting double swung, and it doesn't matter. They find the frag, and Logan finds Del Taco.
Oh, that's going to feel so bad. You saw them before, and they're playing around that smoke, and because you put those smokes just at those key corridors, it denies so much easy on-site intel as to where they are. But then when you get cheeky and you know how to play around those smokes, it is so tough to be able to deal with. So the plant finally happens, by the way. That hadn't happened in all that time. They're going to have a fun little high-five moment on the outside of Truck, and they're going to roll down the window, and this is just going to be a quick kill bang straight through the leg. And, they used to be an adventure until they took an operator bullet to the artery. So eventually Fisher does finish it off, but 7-1. We're gonna go back into that cycle of it's the pit of misery right now. 4-7, the best that has been able to get posted up by 3 separate players. 10-1. 10-1 is Logan. It's feeling red hot.
Yeah, so all you people that say Chamber's dead, he's not. He's still extremely strong. It just really comes down to being able to play the comp around it. And something like a double controller can lend itself to a Chamber still being successful, right? Whereas if you run that Jet with that Chamber now, probably not going to be as good looking, of course. So Logan's sitting here with an operator, and I think that's another little aspect of Bind that might be lost out on Grand Valley as well, as that offensive opping and that utility that provides as far as opening up some of the longer sight lines, right? Like if you're like me, you like to ego peek B every single round because you're a glutton for punishment, but smarter players are able to use that op in much better ways.
Especially for post plant, because you then suddenly become that exact same defender that would hold those tight angles up on top of Truck before. I love smoke inside of smoke. I love the concept, and they're immediately going to punish it because they put the Pathfinder down, they see him on the minimap, and everyone aims their guns to that corner, and they just fall like a bag of hammers, and they will clatter to the ground. Do they at least see one? Oh, the blind fire! Psych! No, they just take them out on these corridors. They're able to get 3, make it 4, and that'll be easy pickings for Psych. through the first 9, Fisher trying to match their efficiency, maybe even better it. They had 80% of that on the first half of map 1. You want to do that? Maybe get to 90.
Del Taco's finally able to find an operator again, and the one round that we saw Grand Valley win, right, was on the back of Del Taco's opping. He found 3 with that operator, so maybe this opens up a little bit, but kind of scuffed. 2 light shields coming out, a lot of investment here, and you want to try to win this if you're Grand Valley with as many people intact as you can. Del Taco on top of truck again, but I'm pretty sure that Viper Wall is just going to block this off, so it's not really going to be the best angle to peek, and you're kind of taking away, I mean, honestly, that angle, that aggressive angle, right? You're not able to get those op kills. It's going to be another B hit here, and all you have is a ton of Killjoy utility spread out.
I mean, and that's kind of their fortress of solitude because of all those gadgets, but I like that the feint finally came into fruition. It is both a feint as well as an option to re-rotate if they lose too many numbers on B to go back over to A, but it does at least gather the numbers in the early rotation for Grand Valley to have to respect it, because they're like, okay, they're going to put the screen down, let's go over here, but nope, it ends up being a B rush, and they're going to take it away. So putting so much util down and forward as they put the paint shells onto the back sight away from tunnel, and they're just gonna be able to put illusion onto the ground. It's a 4v1. And again, this is just a absolute dominance by the Falcons. ARAX is able to at least get 1, and that's blind fire. Now hold that thought for all of a second, half second if you will. Logan gets a headhunter to finish things out, and yep, they do themselves 1 better in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, 9-1 right now, so we're going to continue to look up at potentially an 11-1 half, and I don't want to say that breaks the spirits, but Icebox is another map that's played pretty healthily in competitive Valorant. And with that being said, I think it becomes more and more difficult to kind of predict a Grand Valley win versus a pocket pick like Breeze that you don't see a lot, right? So going into Icebox, you might call it a 50-50, just a coin flip because it's played so much, but those 50-50 maps that we've seen played a lot this year, of course, in ECAC, have gone heavily in favor so far of Fisher College.
I need to know between the maps, Bind and Breeze, dodge or play. Which one do you dodge? Which one do you play?
Oh, that's rough. Am I speaking as a caster? As Clort gets another.
Whatever you want to do.
Caster in this, because
as a human, tell me your reality.
Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot like that. So personally, as a caster, I prefer Breeze because I think there is a little bit more varied gameplay than kind of the sight hit simulator that Bind can be.
Okay.
But playing it, I would probably take Bind just so I can ego peek B long every single time. Just personally, there's a reason why I'm still in gold.
Hey, you know what? That's still above me, and I appreciate the pettiness. That's exactly what I would play into. And there's a lot of pettiness on some of these shorties. They are running up ramp with shorties. Psych is the only one playing with the real gun, and everyone else just trying to take the immediate challenge if Luff is going to come down ramp and hit them into Iron Hall. So 10-1, very quickly, could be 11-1. Let's look at what remains of this eco. It is a terrible economy. Sometimes art mimics life, and that is exactly what we get to see from Grand Valley as the Lakers don't even get to have full shields around the board as they try to have a few Bulldogs. You got the Vandals, and this is a runaway train for the Falcons. They're feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, I do like seeing the shorties. It's always a little bit fun, and we're going to see the Tour de Force finally popped as well, because I don't think that Logan has lost their op this entire time since they bought it. So kind of just one of those things like, hey, we're going to double op for the memes at this point, because why not? We're going to see, of course, the lockdown possibly invested here. I think it should be after you hear all this gunfire, but they're probably just trying to wait for the last second. You have to be careful with this, though, because it might just get sprayed down, of course, out of this, as the paint shell is going to come out, and Logan's going to find a pick on ARAX. That's how we're going to open it up, with the Killjoy and the Seekers combining to try to push them off a B site.
Least get chased down by the good cabbages, and the rotation does go through the teleporters. So in that 2v2, as they come out of showers, and they will still plant for truck. They love it ever so much. Don't do box. It is far too exposed. The Tour de Force will claim yet another life, as a dive will take their dive. Dory finds Luff, and it becomes a 4v2, but Illusion at least gets one off the Bulldog. They still stay in smoke. Nope, they will stay in the morgue, as Ming will allow them to get joined by the compatriot in Del Taco. It is 11-1. All of a single pistol round could spell victory and match point in the back pocket of the Falcons here as we flip halves.
Grand Valley doesn't have the best track record with pistol rounds, so we might be going to Icebox after this one, or after 2, because if you win pistol here, almost a guarantee, like 80-20, 80-20 that you went the next round. Like let's throw some numbers out there to make it nice and round, But it's one of those situations where this was the same kind of thing on Haven. Maybe we see Grand Valley pull out a pistol a couple rounds afterwards just to try to foment some momentum going into Icebox as map number 4. It's really difficult when you're playing with a team that's as coordinated. And also, I just want to comment on the sheer fact that all of Sykes' just counter strafe shots with that Phantom have been just disgusting. Like, I can't fathom the ability to AD that quickly and get perfect accuracy back. Like, obviously this is Boomer Esports over here in between me and Monkey Man, so we struggle bus a little bit with that stuff, but that kind of pinpoint accuracy is just so hard to deal with.
Well, talk about the one thing that Fisher was not accurate with, and that was making this read. They thought it would go a short. Well, a little bit of copycat is, it's showcasing that they respect their views on this game, and they go run 4 into showers. They will eventually get rid of Logan, but the plant goes down, and now it's a reverse hold because everyone is off site. They have to gain site back going to U-Haul.
And it's not looking like it's going to happen. I mean, the whole map just flipped. It's just so confusing. Is Ming going to find 2? But Aleutian takes it down. It's going to be Chloric here with the Spectrum Classic in hand. Let's see if they can make it sing or if they're going to die without hearing its graceful song.
Going for the defuse. Chloric is having to face down a robot, and now they're just going to throw a guiding light into the sky. No one got blinded by that. So guess what? We're not going to end it at least too early. A couple of deaths. You had pistols, maybe some ghosts. You're just phantoms right now before you respawn. So Grand Valley, they do at least get 1. This is a slightly better situation, only because it's not 12-2. It's 11-2. They have the buy-up. They can be able to at least get a third. It's winnable.
I mean, I'm thoroughly convinced at this point that everything's winnable in Valorant just because you can really snowball rounds, and maybe Grand Valley's attack is just as polished as Fisher's is looking. It's just when you put yourself at that disparity at 11-2, it becomes more and more difficult just to be able to show that attack, right? Because any mistake gets punished and then the round's over. And Logan with a headhunter here, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying how good this man is with Chambers kit, even after the nerf.
Yeah, granted, the one thing that they did to the headhunter is that they said, slow down, slow your roll while taking the shots. I think it's like after spam, when basically you try to get your spam shot, it just continues to flare even wider than judge shots do. I don't know if you guys have ever fully spammed the entire salvo of that gun. That circle gets as wide as the screen. It is kind of wild, to be honest. But Fisher, we're able to at least slow down Grand Valley for the moment. The screen does come up, and that will be dive. I think they get a blind fire. No, they're able to find him from corner, coming out of shower. So the plant will occur into this 3v3 as Tori gets luffed with a shorty. And Logan's gonna hold this one if anyone intends to come through that connection. But Grand Valley, with this buy-up, could be able to at least put Fisher College on a slight halt for their victory lap.
Yeah, it's going to be obviously the buy in the third round from Fisher is Dive looking to dip, dodge, and duck his way behind the defense. And there it is. Dive doing a great job of just trying to secure the spike. It's going to be Chloric alone. Grabs a Spectre, has 74 health to work with. This isn't done and dusted just yet as they try to push through. There, of course, is the Nano Swarm to try to secure the bomb. We might see another one here, and the answer is going to be no. Dive is going to find a third and been doing, honestly, a really good job of that flank. We saw it multiple times on Breeze. We're seeing it again here on Bind. And, I mean, Grand Valley living to fight another day at this point, basically. We're going to see a lot of Bulldogs coming out.
We will. We're going to have, 3 Bulldogs? I think a full buy will occur for Del Tacos. They'll be able to at least get that. I don't think they'll get entire kit, but they will. We will have at least a comparable duel going on into this round. And we saw the first 4 of 5 go over to Fisher. And it's highly doable based on the execute that we get out of the Lakers. If you believe in them, make sure you tell us all about it in the chat as well, because you guys at home are getting to watch this awesome best of 5 final here for the ECAC Valorant Fall Semester. These guys are trying to be able to put on the best showcase they can for you. Logan gets that incel as they're on the top of the box, and that's one of the other places you get spammed through and just die on either side, honestly.
Yeah, that one's terrifying. When Chamber had 2 TPs, I would typically play Showers pretty aggressively and use that as a fallback because obviously they think you're probably going to rotate back to site, so you get to kind of get a double dip on that. With 1 teleport now, you kind of just have to anchor yourself up there and hope that, you know, it works, as Chloric here is going to be facing a gauntlet of 3 people. We're really going to have to see if a bird or if anything comes out or if they're just going to dry peek this, because I think dry peeking might be a disaster, and it is. Del Taco is found through the tiniest of slivers, and obviously the Aldrin going to get one here, but I don't think it really matters at this point. You took out Del Taco, you took out the entry. It's going to be that much harder to break in, especially with these Bulldogs.
That was a Rainbow Six Siege type
Pixel
corridor.
peek. Oh yeah.
Just the littlest thing. Just you know that you frame your reticle to be able to just be on that tiniest bit of precision, and they get it. They've been doing that all night long, and now another one. Bang is able to swing 2, and they get 2 immediately. Clark find 1 from the back end, and it was a race to who was going to get the 3K on site B. So it took them a little bit of time through that first couple, but Fisher College is officially on match point to get themselves, well, I guess map point to get themselves match point.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Fisher College, you're feeling pretty good about this. Obviously, the whole team doing work. Dory this time with Brimstone with 16 assists. That's more than 1 per round right now. So they had the KO, of course, on Haven with about 1.3 per round. So, you know, the team kind of trading roles and, you know, trying to do everything for their teammates, and you definitely love to see that. You see the support, you see the combo util. It's definitely huge. Just Psych is just going to pick up, and this man's heat checking, and he might win it.
Oh, not just might, definitely does, and that's gonna hurt your psyche if you're. I had forgotten the name was Psych. There we go. It all worked out. Look. Sometimes, look, I'm just talented, I guess. I don't know. Oh, this is just getting ruined. It's a 5-1. Luff, my man, you are. Who's on attack? Who's on defense? This feels like they just traded roles. Put the shock dart down. Survive. Luff didn't get to play Valorant. He just got to be bullied. Oh, 13-3. Fisher College. They'll be on match point. That was rough for Luff at the end.
Yeah, I think we've all been in those situations before, so all I can say is my condolences, brother. I feel you. That's not a fun place to be in when you have 5 people just running at you. So, yeah, shout outs to you. Way to stay alive. Yell at your teammates later for me for dying so early. I know it was a save. It wasn't exactly the best map on Bind, and it was really just that combo. You talked about the double controller. Has not been meta on Bind for quite some time, and with the nerfs to Chamber, it's able to come back a little bit, but it's more in support of being able to play that Chamber versus just having the double controllers to try to control the map, right? And I think that's integral, and trying to kind of foray this new patch and all the changes that have come through. Definitely happy to see that, of course. Now we're going to go to Icebox, where it was another Chamber heavy map. It's obviously another Viper heavy map as well. And we're going to have a Sage potential as well. So are we going to see that double Sentinel lineup come out? That's going to be the question for me, is just to see how much of this has changed, because our wall can be shot down sooner as well.
Yeah, and of course the change with the heals as well, but we're gonna have a bit of time to talk all about it. New school, old school, adaptation is key, especially if you want to be a champion, being able to overcome all obstacles in your way. You can't forget about what worked, but also you got to make sure what's in front of you continues to succeed. On the other side of this break, we'll have our 4th and perhaps final map of the evening. Stick with us. We'll be back right after this.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. You're offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Jeez, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
Ready, check in the chat. We're ready for another map as we're getting into our Valorant finals. I'm Hell Monkey Man alongside Visionary One, who wishes I was not here right now. But we are so happy that you are here right now, getting into our next rendition. Okay, Visionary, regardless if the R checks are good to go, how do you feel about us trading map picks? Well, actually, I guess consistently having our teams winning their assigned map picks, the ones that they wanted. We've gone through the gauntlets. We've seen Haven, Breeze, and Bind. We're heading to Icebox. You had said this one's a little 60-40, 50-50. Do we give GVSU a big chance to be able to recoup and get to map 5?
They haven't shown a reason for me to be proven wrong yet. Like, I understand that you lost Bind, you lost Haven. 2 things about those maps: very short sight lines, right? You're going to be playing on Icebox, medium to long range, much like Breeze. Might kind of favor their comp, what they like to run. I don't want to say they're the favorites here. Fisher College is highly rated for a reason, but we could see a map 5, which is Fracture, which in my opinion is pretty much anything goes. And at this point, I'm kind of in the I don't care anymore, I want to see a map 5 kind of mood. Just because that's how I feel, and I love watching good Valorant, and both these teams are extremely stellar, and I just want to see the comps. And we see ARAX kind of hovering that Sage right now, and that was my big question mark on this one. But we're also going to see a Reyna coming out on the side of Fisher potentially. Is this really 2011 Valorant all over again? Like, is this Masters 1?
It's old school time. Okay, yeah, it's happening. We're gonna get Vipers. We're gonna be playing Snowman. We're gonna have lineups from all the way on the backside. And man, this is not a full mirror. You do have that differential. You have the Jet into the Reyna. Del Taco has not left. They are a absolute fiend for Jet. Like if there is a T-shirt that's got Jet on it, if there is a Jet liner that's named Jet, Del Taco is gonna be flying on it. Gonna be sticking with them. We will have the counter kill joys, the Vipers facing off against each other. It's not. The immediate word that I came to it was bland, because I wanted to see a little bit more versatility between these two. We're getting the Reyna, which there's a lot of teams that have just shut down Reyna play these days. I feel like there's some extra love that maybe is needed, but there's also a lot of people that will tell me to shut up because Reyna just got like dumbed down to being, not the super kill queen she's been for the majority of low rank play.
Yeah, it just really comes down to her blind being a little bit more effective now that it doesn't have an effective distance. It's basically infinite, so it is useful, especially on the long sight lines of Icebox. So I don't disagree with the pick, and the way Psyche was shooting last map, I don't blame him at all. Like, if you want to just ultimate ego heat check, knowing that you have another map in your back pocket if you absolutely need it, it's not a terrible pick with the counter streaks we were seeing from him. Go get your overheals, fam. I'm not going to yell at you for it.
I have seen so many people be able to get off their util as well, and then be able to get that 50+ shield into the pistol round. It's kind of unfair, but the way you get to gobble up some devours is if you actually go and get those kills. So go off, fam. Get yourself some fat frags. But for right now, again, flip sides. Grand Valley will be on the attack. Fisher will be on the defense. So we'll get to see how this all kind of plays in as we have some A pressure. And interesting positioning on the two screens. You have that same kind of defensive screen for the likes of Fisher. And it looks like that we're getting kind of that crisscross applesauce. And we will actually have a tech pause kind of going into this one. We're going to suss all that up. See exactly how all that kind of fares. But this is, I want to see if the Reyna pick can kind of be super effective. And maybe that's just me, both loving and hating, what Reyna represents just as like a duelist. I cannot kill for some reason. I don't know why I can't kill her. I don't know why.
I struggle with Reyna's as well. I don't know. It really comes down to, I think her head hitbox is smaller because I just whiff on her more than any other agent. I think she's just got narrow head syndrome. Jokes aside, though, like I said, like if you're gonna have Psych running the way he was running last map, like tell him to go off. Like the best IGL strat sometimes is just enabling somebody and telling them to go kill. I mean, we've seen it so many times with CNED winning, CNED winning the first Valorant championship, and then Ye potentially, that dynasty of Optic coming in, and sometimes it's just like, hey, Ye, go kill. Like, yeah, we're gonna make Chamber meta because you're so good. That's literally what happened because everybody was still running Jet beforehand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes it's just like, hey, you want to heat check yourself? Go for it. Like, we have a map to play with. And if they feel confident in their fracture, I don't think there's a reason to doubt the pick at all. So we'll see if it provides value. I think on the person who's playing it, it definitely will, as we kind of go back, of course, to getting a reset after that player DC. But we're going to see more Icebox. I was kind of curious about that default positioning, just kind of lingering in A. It makes sense now that we know somebody actually disconnected.
I mean, maybe they were just playing for the very, I don't know, cerebral pistol play. Like, all right, they'll eventually come hunt us down. They want this alt orb. They just like collectively kumbaya around that kind of lower hemisphere outside of it. But that can't all pick Shorty and be successful. I mean, I wish I could, but we'll be going back in just a moment. Of course, if you guys are just now joining us, this is in fact a 2-1 series in favor of the Fisher Falcons as they're looking to be able to take this fall semester title over the likes of Grand Valley State. They picked up Breeze, which was their map pick, but the other two map picks that, of course, were for the Falcons. They both got them in dominant fashion. Again, when GVSU has a say, they're able to keep it close, and so far they've been able to overcome. But I mean, if this ultimately goes over to map 5, you talked about fractures, pretty even Stevens, because it's the most wild west of particular maps. Do you think that one still just gets railroaded by the Falcons, or do we get to see maybe like a very close finish? Where's the drama? Is it close, or is this just gonna be decided in the first half?
I think it's close. I think it's close. I think Icebox lends itself to be a fashion to where you have to have a good read on your team. And I mentioned this before the round as well with, both these teams are pretty successful in the regular season, right? So Icebox is typically kind of crushed on as a decider map and not really one of the first two that are played. With that being said, maybe neither of these teams really have a ton of experience within Icebox, at least, playing together against high level competition like this. So I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit closer than the last map, just by kind of that nature. Like Fisher, I'm pretty sure didn't see a third map more than once for the entirety of the season and the postseason run. As we see Del Taco already getting an opening frag. And look at Psycho playing in that area. And is he going to be found is the real question. It looks like the answer is no right now.
Oh, man. Just in your back room, backdooring everyone. And they're looking for another one. That is a very fast pistol round. And that's how you come off of a kind of a weird tech issue and saying, you know what, let's do something weird. And I love that maneuver, because if you kind of get up onto ropes very, very quickly, and then you kind of mission impossible yourself all the way across, which is one of my more favorite positions, especially for A side and the design they did into Icebox. It creates such a just, oh my god, I wish we had cleared nest moments for the attackers, and it's cathartic for anyone on defense that does that maneuver.
That play is quite literally called the Asuna for a reason, though. Like, he made his name ratting that spot on Icebox when Icebox was literally just an A-hit simulator. Like, nobody could do anything on Icebox. Nobody ever went B. That's a good jump peak right there to at least get some intel on the fact that the Marshall is long. And, I got to be honest with you, Monkey Man. That Sovereign Marshall just sounds so crispy, especially when it lands the shots.
Yeah, it's like a stapler, just like one of those like industrial office, like either the cutters or the staplers, and just be able to go straight through people. Oh, it's so nice and clean. But Grand Valley does not appreciate the lethality and how cool and clean that one is, because they are the ones that fall short of it. Dory with a bulldog in mid, and I've seen a lot, especially at the collegiate level, good mid control when it comes to using poison orbs off the Vipers to allow yourself to rotate freely. Because if you allow mid sightline open, especially to defenders, then you just kind of suffer real hard. And this is going to be suffering of a 10th kind, because they're just getting surrounded on all edges. Illusion will eventually drop Chloric, and that'll be Logan that does find Dive, hit in a tight cubby, but eventually in the 5v2 becomes 4v nothing, and that'll be the first two over to the Falcons.
So we questioned the Reyna pick. 5-0. Is the answer so far in the first two rounds. So.
I'm a doubter. I don't know. I don't know. Not believing.
I believe we call them haters, sir. I believe that's the new lingo term for it, not a doubter. That's too proper English for kids these days.
Well, hater gonna hate. Okay, look, we hating out here. All right.
hate. Oh man, Luft's actually gonna buy a bulldog here. They're kind of starved on util. I believe they used the Aldrone again last round, so they're not gonna be able to full buy up. And Psych just doesn't care about anything right now. He's just pushing up A freely, and it's gonna be another strong B hit. And obviously with the Sage and the Viper in tow, it's kind of the play, right? Like, you want to be able to do that as Logan got tripped up on the box. Dude, as somebody who plays Jet frequently, that is the bane of our existence, is sitting there and getting caught up on just the edge of something and watching your dash just go away.
Oh, stubbed his toe real hard. Didn't even matter. It just fell into the box like, oh.
High velocity stubbed toe.
Just Mach 5 owie. Just stepped on a Lego, tumbled, and then eventually bullets finished him off. So, Grand Valley will take that momentum and absolutely run away with it. They'll be in a 5v3. Now, Psycho, or Psyche, was going to go a little bit psycho, as going to try and make the swing. But no, it's going to be Del Taco that ends their reign of terror, and no longer will they be deathless. In this 4v1, Dory is going to try and commit all the way up into it, maybe make it expensive, but it's a dime a dozen. Attackers, Grand Valley. They feel a little bit better, and maybe it came off a stub toe, but someone eventually has to get hurt before eventually there's momentum gain.
Yeah, that's how Valorant works, right? Yeah, I mean, you got to watch some players fall against some momentum. You can't just plant and have a 5v5 and hold out the entire round, although that would be one of the funniest things I could potentially ever see happen in Valorant. Like, you get one of those Killjoy Venn diagram situations with the lockdowns and just all 5 on both teams, and then the spike just goes off and kills everybody. That would be the most wild round of Valorant ever. But I'm going a little bit too far on a tangent right now as we get to see Grand Valley go ahead and claw one back, right? And we've seen this before. Don't want to take anything away from them, but typically Fisher is steamrolled when they have rifles back in their hands. So this round right here is kind of integral and tell me how this map is going to look. If it's close, you know, if it's that one person alive and maybe Fisher pulls it out and everybody's econ's kind of busted together, I think you feel a little bit better about Grand Valley's chances moving forward.
I mean, they just got rid of Dory, so this round already doesn't have that defensive toxic screen. So that's got to feel better for their options if they want to go back over to A, as you have all of Psyche, who has decided to be a little bit more pinned in this separate fourth round. But winning the round, boom! There is the tailwind. You're gonna have a double smoke sitting straight in the middle of Yellow Box and more. And now trying to be able to take on their doppelganger, the Twinsy will fall, and that's another one gained as Cloric is able to get a nice defensive sheriff shot onto Del Taco. This 2v3, the wall is up, and there's all this tiny little area, but they're having to face a lot of shock darts and 28 HP. Regardless, 8 really doesn't matter because they are dead now off a wall bang. Dive looking on the jump peak, and they eventually will get caught on the double swing. So, what does this paint picture for you? Because they had the early frag, but then they just kind of full commit into B. And then they just kind of they got whiplash at the likes of Logan.
That's just Logan being better that round. I don't really like. The analysis of that is Logan should not have gotten 2 there, right? Like that's
right.
In that situation, Logan should not get 2. But you have a jet, you have a dash, you get a couple good shots, and you kind of just bust the round, right? Because you get that opening frag, you're feeling pretty good. You're like, hey, we killed one A. They might try to lurk over. Fisher held strong. They weren't going to rotate off B. They knew they were on kind of a scuffed by there. A couple of sheriffs were out as well, and Psyche just doesn't care about anything right now. As Logan finds one with the Blade Storm pushing up mid as well, and this is just going to be the giant pincer coming out with Psyche, who has 9 HP, has to bail, but Logan still has 150 as Dory finds one. This is going to be tough sledding ahead. Del Taco lands a little bit of chip damage. Unfortunately, not going to be enough.
Nope. Frenzy spray, a little bit of extra BM, 4-1. Fisher feeling pretty good. Del Taco trying to treat the Marshall like a Halo 2 rifle. It shoots about nearly as fast and isn't sadly as accurate, especially an attack shooter. But, you know, they try to pull out old strats. I dig it. I'm down with it. But the operator will be in Logan's hands, and it's going to be a lot of Vandals, a half shield for Luff. You do see the Blade Storm available for Del Taco, but they want to buy up into this round, have a little bit more consistent lethality. And you do have the Empress for Psyche, who is, I mean, we've been labeling different players as menaces. Psyche has been fairly consistent. What is going on the road?
They just kissed.
Yeah, little hug, little lore-driven hug, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Viper and Reyna really like each other, but Dory had a nice angle in and instantly just didn't catch the timing on it. That was so close. And this is going to be a nice Hunter's Fury as well. Psyche is going to be dead. Del Taco going to take out Dory as well. So the smoke is down as well as the top frag. This is going to be a great opportunity right now for Grand Valley after the plant goes down to potentially take over this round and take a dub.
Ooh, the exteriors of that sphere nearly killed Arax, and they're going to put themselves into a soft heal. You only get 30 HP now based off of the patch for Sage. It's basically not worth it to heal yourself, but you will eventually be able to get some. A single bullet could ruin your day, and that one will do the same. Big trades, and defense comes through. So it's a 2v2. Look at that tight angle. They can see that elbow, and they do it on the elbow. They shot him in the weenus, and they go absolutely dead, and that'll be Logan that ruins them all. The defuse comes out in the first half of the first half. Fisher finds 5.
It was looking so promising. It was looking so promising for Grand Valley, and then the weenus shot. It has now been coined. It has been minted. Welcome into the lore of Hail Monkey Man. That is definitely going in the reel. Promise you that.
I've never seen someone kill another person off of a single pixel weenus. Just absolutely dead. Just,
oh my. It's a phenomenal shot though. Like, look at this angle. Just the slightest thing. And you know, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say if Valorant's outlines weren't so strong, maybe that's not found.
That's true.
But you know what? It's a part of the game. You might as well abuse every single inch of it that you can. And in that case, it was a millimeter.
Just, I mean, what's less than a millimeter? Is it decimeter?
A decimeter is 100.
So it's more. It's more than
it's more.
Micrometer?
Deci is 10. Micrometer would be it, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, look, it's been a while since I actually knew what I was talking about, so we've gone beyond in that. Plus Ultra Psyche is gonna actually use a dismiss very, very timely, as those were disappearing very quickly, and you do actually get another 3K. Psyche trying to make it a good day. They have another dismiss to get themselves out of harm's way, but as they hop away, Arax at least will be on the repeat, and so Psyche says, cool, let's ego each other. I'm down for this, and it'll be 4 to go. A 4-bagger for Psyche, and that's 6-1. Falcons. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, Falcons are feeling great right now, and we question the Reyna pick. I am no longer questioning the Reyna pick, sir.
I'm not a doubter anymore. Maybe still a hater, because how dare it be so good? But dang, is Psyche good? Holy cow!
I just the trigger discipline too. Like every single time he counter strafes, it's 1 bullet that goes out, or when he uses a phantom, it's 2, obviously, right? Because it's a little bit harder with the faster rate of fire to control it every time. But like you're looking at him and the counter strafes and just the movement and the ability to get around people and just go ahead and take 1 shot and then it's a dome. Like every time, it's just perfectly timed counter strafes. It's good movement. It's extremely hard to hit somebody like that. And if that's me, I'm crouch spraying for my life and hoping I hit a straggler.
Look, I know what it is, okay? And everyone, it's unfair. It's gamer desk. You get the gamer chairs, gamer desk. All right. Yeah, you can. It's a 100 DPI. You don't really recognize it. They're just so even, so steady. But they have like one of those giant, like secret labs, like giant desks, and just swing their elbow as far as they want. I wish I had that.
Is this like Rick and Morty right now, where Morty discovers perfect level, and that's just exactly what Psyche is doing with his desk right now?
Yes.
Like he's finally understanding what perfect level means.
Look, it's something that not all humans can attain, but once you do,
it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back.
It's a gamer desk.
I do quite love my desk. I think the integral part of the gamer desk though has to be the giant mouse pad that covers the whole desk, right?
Yeah. In fact, they should just make a Snuggie that's a gamer mouse pad, and it just like flows onto the desk. And you stay warm during the winter, and then it's out there.
We don't need those in Texas, bro. I'd still be sweating.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, okay. Then you get the well, what's the opposite of Snuggie? Like a windbreaker, I guess. I don't know.
Hold on. Like Nike Dry Fit, bro.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Put little ice packs in there. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Oh.
Okay, snapshot. What's up? Psyche hits the floor for once, and that actually opens up a wide corridor for for GVSU to start trying to get a plant. I have not seen them plant the bomb much at all, and they're going to invest in this Viper's Pit to try and get this one back in order.
I don't really blame it at all, and the fact of the matter is you still have the lockdown. How many bullets do you have to spam? How many people were sitting there is my question. I think it was 2. I think it was both Sova and Killjoy just spraying that one angle, and there goes the bomb, and I mean, kind of have to retreat. You kind of have to play in the open here, right? Because that would be the one spot that I wouldn't spam if I'm looking down a Viper's Pit.
Ooh. Luckily, they do have a very hard surface, but they're going to get hit with a little bit of shock dart util. The attack, looking pretty good. I thought that one was scuffed. Gotta be honest, as soon as that wall went down, I thought the bad times were at odds against GVSU, but they do recover. They get some good trades, and Fisher College will allow that one to run by them, but this is starting to have the airs. It's not even starting to. It has the definite airs of map 1 and 3, and this is again GVSU's pick as the Lakers try to recover. Did they take they took their earlier timeout? So maybe there's been a little bit of good coaching going on from their staff.
It seems like they're being a little bit more decisive regardless, like especially that choice to go ahead, and you said it looked a little bit scuffed. Just the ability to have the wherewithal to be like, you know what, we're going to stick to B, we're going to execute, we're going to throw the Viper's Pit, and you know what, it may be Ming and the Sova combo right there. That's kind of dirty. That angle right there is not friendly, but
yeah, that's you get tiny little tag, they immediately swing, and these players, these ranks, these guys are high immortal into radiant. They know immediately how to just the muscle memory. I wish I had the gamer skills. I wasted it on like good diet and exercise. I don't know why I ever did that. But off the jump peak, don't see much into the nest on that tight swing. Logan is holding down. I don't know what this is called. Jail? I don't know. Got that.
Yeah, it's called jail. It's called jail.
Is it jail? Hell yeah. I knew. Context clues. Look at me. I'm going off. But these guys are too, and it's a 2v4.
And it's that double swing, right? You get Chloric? Annie, are you okay? Hit by a smooth criminal at this point. Just 5 bullets left. Do you get the frag? That's the question. Dive is just playing a game of basically peekaboo. They're playing hide and go seek, and Cloric's able to find the 4th. And it's just so integrated. The map control is coming through, and it's basically just based off the fearlessness that they're completely willing to take any gunfight and feel confident that they can win it. If you're Fisher right now, like obviously Grand Valley still has a way to get back into this. They have the econ to at least full buy this round and kind of go through it. We're going to see if Psych, of course, can go ahead and do Psych things, right? Because he's really been the one that's been breaking open rounds just by getting those opening frags and kind of making Grand Valley just second guess themselves.
Yeah, the majority of rounds in this first half that have had first bloods over to Fisher College, obviously are the ones that have been won. Obviously, you look at 7-2, the majority have been won by them. Dory's able to get first blood, but this time it's a trade. They're going to put the bomb, or rather, they're going to put the wall down. They're going to aim for a revive, so that will help them out. There is another revive opposite of them as well. You have 2 lockdowns. This one gets expended, so they can be able to maybe create some space. But look at that corner. Logan is actually safe, and they have a sight all the way into Nest. They don't win on the swing, and they will get detained. That's all of a bait, and they'll be protected by a couple of bodies up here in Rafters. That is short-lived, as Illusion will be able to find Cloric. Plant does occur. It's a 5v3, but you do have the power rifle in the hands of one, but they're dropping like flies from distance.
I don't think Logan cares about that, to be honest with you. That's a crazy double kill. Bladestorm's going to get popped. Doesn't care. Obviously, the Killjoy is going to be there, but it's going to get one player detained. Left's going to be a little bit of bait here on the backside as the defuse comes through. They might not have the utility to go ahead and get through this right now. They don't have a sight line. It's once finally taken out by Illusion. They know that they're going to have to play that, and it's the high one this time. This is going to be a lot more difficult to deal with. The smoke coming out. It's halved. They're going to have to survive this tap. There's all of the utility getting dumped. Shock darts, snake bites, the whole 9 yards, and Grand Valley's able to pull this to 7-3.
Now, if I remember right, does the snake bite now actually do util damage too? Because I think that was one of the big patch plays.
That was pretty much all offensive utility now does damage to defensive utility.
So everything hurts everything, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And the biggest buff that nobody's really talked about, honestly, even though they're not being run on this map, I just kind of want to note it, is the fact that Raze's paint shells now do 250% damage to utility. So a paint shell easily takes down an entire Killjoy, just the entirety of that lockdown. So if you run a Raze on this map instead, trying to kind of play that post plant and have an extra molly, an extra grenade to kind of chuck at it, actually becomes useful. And so with Chamber being thrown out of the meta, some teams are forced to run Jet. And Cloric, are you kidding me? Check this man's PC. This is not normal.
What? He just dive strafed. He's like, all right, bullet, for passing thoughts. Here you go. And that wasn't the spawn. What? Just up on the ramp, you think you're having a good time, can see the world from a higher vantage point, and you just turn into dust and atoms. Unfortunate. Psyche, holding this tight angle, did not get cleared, so Luff may give themselves away. Of a weird situation. The situation, as we call it. The Waish, if you're the cool kids. For Grand Valley, as they do have 3. They're trying to even this up into a 7-5. Luckily for them, they could turn it into a 9-3, 8-4. Something, math plays. You have 12. Psych is going to play this one. So cool, calm, collected. They would get 1. They're going to trade and get the 3rd. They, in fact, get the dismiss off just in case they are going to get grounded. And they will do it again, because why not? Another Lear, but that one is going to put them to the floor. So 3-2 at the post. Actually, the plant didn't ever happen. If we'll finally get it to occur with 20 seconds remaining, but we're going to reset that clock.
Yeah, we're going to reset that clock, and also a lot of utility here is, oh my god, just running through that. Vulnerable is Arax, and they're going to get taken down, and Del Taco now has to deal with the flank and 2 in front. This is going to be tough sledding ahead. This is a precarious position, and Logan with an operator. Feel like I've said that about 72.5 times already on this map. Going to take it down. We're going to go to 8-3. The only question is, do you actually want to get the 4th round, or do you want to go for the curse and see if it works?
It's a bit of a stretch, maybe. Actually, you know what? You said 72.5. Hold on. 22. I'm doing fast math. I'm looking at our previous scoreboards. 22-11. Hold on. What did Logan do? That's 45. Wait. You could be on the right track. 45. Where is he at? That's 50. 61. How many kills does Logan have? 61. That's 73. You were 0.5 over. No way you did the math that fast. Holy heck.
Imagine the caster math. I am actually Giga Chad brained. It's just nobody can compete with me. I mean, honestly, that's a great spray by A-Rex right there. A little chip damage traded both ways, but Fisher is going to lose that. Okay, Dory, you do you, bro. Just these trades are nuts, right? And it just seems like Fisher College has 2 people for every single person that Grand Valley throws at anything.
Facing up a wall, a totem pole of existence, as you're constantly one versus the many face god, and Chloric has stepped all the way up. They're gonna have the Owl Drone for the tag, and they may actually chase them down with the Hunter's Fury if they feel like it, but that's just gonna identify them on backside for anyone that doesn't want to mess with them. What is that? I don't... Sure, okay. I thought maybe that was gonna trick shot to where they last tagged them. That would have been like next level brain, even before and beyond the scoreboard that you apparently have just racking up in your noggin, Visionary.
Yeah, I might be a savant, but typically that comes with its downsides, as this Hunter's Fury actually not gonna find anything. They're just trying to hit 2 with this, and they'll lurk back towards AO. They're going right into Logan, who's gonna find 1, but Illusion's gonna get the trade here, and you're going into the gauntlet right now. Logan and Psyche just posted up here. The jump peak, this isn't Call of Duty. You can't do that in Valorant, as Psyche, excuse me, takes out 3, and it's going to be a 9-3 half. We're staring down the barrel of the curse, but I don't feel like Fisher cares.
Yeah, Fisher is absolutely invoking it on purpose. They feel like they can take on anything, to include the likes of the Lakers, who now have to have one of the best defenses they've ever had, and it's going to be that for this fall semester final for the ECAC. It is all of 4 rounds away for Fisher to claim victory, claim 2022's end as theirs, and get the crown for this conference and feel really, really good. Not just about their power rankings, but about the power they've been able to showcase here tonight. Grand Valley, we've got a lot of work to do. Luckily for you, there's at least a curse on your side.
There is the curse on the side. I actually like Dive's crosshair too there. Using the middle dot, not enough people do that, as that's going to be a tag. A little bit of access over here, but the wall going to be there to delay, of course. Ming just kind of hanging out. Nobody can find the shock dart, and Luff's going to find because of it. And here comes the knife spam. Got to break that wall, and there is Del Taco. Look at this defensive hold right now from Grand Valley. The defensive wall, and this is going to be an interesting development in Grand Valley's defense, because that is not something that Fisher College had available to them. It didn't really seem to matter, but it adds just an extra layer of what they're going to have to get through.
I like how that works on so many levels, because it's literally a layer they have to get through, but also a layer they have to get through. You've done that. I'm astonished. I'm leaning back in my chair. Can't see it, but I'm just, oh my god.
You're flabbergasted right now?
Yeah, the wave of just like realization, like, oh my god, that's so beautiful.
Thank you,
So
brother.
good. It's okay. Sub 100 seconds to go here in round number 14. Dory just continues to be a menace and to continue to be rude about foreheads and bullets and where they may go, but Del Taco's going to try and see where this plant actually exists. Dory did not identify them, so we have this timing as we will cross pelicans and pads away from each other. Big trades. Dismiss comes out. Psyche continues to showcase that Reyna is in fact the big queen of kills. They're going to have to play a little bit of cat and mouse with Illusion, but Luff with the collat on Psyche and Dory.
That's massive right now, and you know, you have the 2v. There's the dart coming out as well. We're gonna see obviously the spam come through, the nano swarms coming through as well. The spike is halved, but time is dwindling down. You're gonna have to be able to find these frags. There's Illusion with 1, and Logan gets 1 here. You just have to stall for time. Not found. Gonna have to take this gunfight and get back to it. Not enough time, and Logan with the headshot. Gonna put Fisher on double digits.
Oh, that quick pop shot to just deny them. They got it to half. You thought there was a big moment that Grand Valley would be able to grab and get themselves a couple before. Ultimately, Fisher College finds themselves at 10. But no, Logan, the lethality main that continues to ruin hopes and lives, gets 2 when they needed it most. No assists, no problem. They don't need to assist anyone because they get 15 and 6. They continue to end the job when it starts. That is Oh, that's gotta feel rough. In Grand Valley, they will have one extra timeout if they choose to use it into this half, but they've got to stop this momentum from driving right now. The wall goes up, but does Fisher College's chances? They actually lose one. Be playing into this. Grand Valley has to stand and deliver.
And stand and deliver with no shields, no anything else, and Love doesn't have a heal for a while. I'm sorry, Arax doesn't have a heal, but hey, my Classic does not do that. As that comes out right there, Illusion gonna find another pick. We're actually in a 2v2 right now, and a good flanking position coming out. We're gonna see, the top of box for Logan. That is just dirty on top of 410, and Illusion's gonna get spotted. But Logan loses a gunfight. First time I've said that today, it feels like, as this is gonna be now planted, of course, in the new default spot, which, of course, in Nest. Now we're gonna see the spam coming out, the drop down. Illusion's gonna find 4 this round. Absolutely massive. They get a thrifty, and they're now gonna be on 5. So they're halfway there, 5 more to go.
We're not dreaming. Hopes are alive. It's real. Grand Valley is able to get 5, get half of that total round for the Falcons, and they're playing off of angles. That's kind of half readiness, I would say, because you have to be like, all right, we know you're in rafters. You play out off of the default. You put down the snake bite to deny them the early plant into that regular low side on rope, but then you just kind of come out from them from that flank and bring the dragon fire. You have a blade storm, which is going to get used by Logan. That's going to be big scary. You've got the likes of the Viper Pit for Illusion. That could be direct denial if they want to expend that early, but they've got good weapons to fight against the likes of this Grand Valley. So 10-5. Oh, so many blades, so little time, and they're going to be dropped after that trade.
That's a great job by Grand Valley to go ahead, come out and make those trades and just make sure that this eco isn't as damaging as it appeared after they rushed through mid. And of course, we're saying Grand Valley right now living on a prayer because they are halfway there and they're halfway through this round right now. No plant yet. Psyche with this Vandal though. This is going to be dangerous as Luff gets the peak. Tries to swing out, still getting spotted. Psyche is just better. He's just literally stunning right now. I can't explain how well this man is playing. 45 shields still in the tank. Look at the counter straights again, just completely removes Del Taco. It's now a 3v1, and Grand Valley put a lot of effort into that last round. Of course, clutched it out with one person, and now it kind of just fell apart on a half buy, essentially, from Fisher College.
Arax has to be the battle sage of the century, and luckily for them, they do have the timing onto Psych, so they will drop. They're going to put that wall down, but there will be at least... Actually, no, the snakebite is done, so they will commit themselves at least into a half of diffuse, and that wall will be at least chopped in half. They have to be able to win on this, but no, the thrifty is found by Grand Valley, shaking their head, well, rather by Fisher College, shaking their head no, is Dory. 11-5. Feeling all too familiar in a really, really bad way. 2.0 KD with a 20 bomb. One away from them is the same for Logan. Those duelists right there for Fisher have been out of their minds on this map. They can just smell victory 2 rounds away.
Yeah, they certainly can. And now completely scuffed by Del Taco, opting for the Vandal and the light shields once again. We're going to have light shields on a couple of Sheriffs, a Frenzy, and a Stinger. So wouldn't call this ideal, obviously, if you're Grand Valley, but hey, I've seen better pulled off with worse. So let's see what they can bring to this round, as it looks to be a quick B strike right here. We're gonna see the leader come out. Cloric gonna go. Cloric, are you a Yoru clone right now? I didn't see that man turn once, and he finally turns and peeks. And Psych, of course, gonna go ahead and open this up. Dory's gonna find one as well, and everybody just trying to get him away. The Hunter's Fury is gonna be committed as 1 and 1 is taken down, but Psych gonna find a third, and Logan's gonna find another, and it's just a quick dust up right there for Fisher College, who are now on championship point.
W key simulation right there for Cloric. Just I mean, how do you doubt, or do you think that you're gonna die when you have Psych right in front of you, being able to get as much as they want to? They get 3 kills, Logan finds another, and everything is just being swept up in a frenzy. This is like watching Argentina absolutely dominate against Croatia today. Just putting them on their heels. They feel like they could get a timeout, but there's none left to be able to get mustered. 12-5, Grand Valley in a rough situation. The victory lap may begin. Everyone is rushing. They've got the tailwind up, and they immediately get rid of Illusion as they use their Viper Pit. And that'll be Logan finding 2 off the rip, and another one will be devoured. So that's going to up the game, the shields, and more for Psych, and this is going to be tough to repel.
This is certainly, I mean, especially with the Killjoy, the lockdown is in effect. You're going to have no chance at a retake, and Odin is sitting here for Chloric, and there is the counter Viper's Pit. They are throwing everything and the kitchen sink right now to try to secure this round. I can't say I blame them. It is championship point right now. Del Taco is going to have to be the gift from God, and they have the Blade Storm to deliver from the heavens. Can they receive right now? Del Taco with 1. Can they get another? Del Taco with 2. There's a chance. It's a 2v1, but it's the Sentinel and the Controller remaining, so all the mollies in the world are going to be on the spike. This is going to be very difficult to deal with as they're vulnerable. They're decayed, and it's going to be so difficult right now for Del Taco. You have to hit the shots of a lifetime to go ahead and get through this. Can you do it? There's 1. Oh! Can he get back to the spike is the question. The Swarm takes him out. Del Taco aces, but it doesn't matter. The utility from Fisher College delivers them the championship.
Oh my goodness, the best and worst time to get an ace when the utility was being spammed out. They were trying to get the Killjoy to drop into the ground, but it didn't matter because when they needed to be a hero, they couldn't get the half, they couldn't get any of it. Oh, clinical by Fisher, but heroics by the likes of GVSU. That one, Del Taco, you said he'd be a variable, and he was, but just wasn't able to be the bigger one when it mattered the most. Congratulations over to the Fisher Falcons. They're pretty dang good at esports as a program, and especially in Valorant. They're going to take this series 3-1. Visionary, that team is really good as their power rankings stand them to be, but you know, kudos to GVSU. They had a lot of gumption, they had a lot of fights, but when it was the decision time, it was the likes of Fisher that had all the answers.
And I mean, Fisher's rated where they are for a reason. We said coming into this that they were the overwhelming favorite. GVSU is kind of the dark horse running into this, of course. They are not currently listed on those power rankings. And I think after looking at this and what they were able to put some pressure on Fisher, especially taking a map off of him, even if it is kind of a specialty being Breeze and that being removed from the map pool, it just kind of shows that ability to be coached and that ability to have a game plan to be successful for at least one map, right? And with more time together, this team is relatively new. They can extrapolate that. And I don't want to take anything away from them. They had a magnificent run, but at the end of the day, it's Fisher's day. There's nothing else about that. The Falcons dominated today. The 3 maps that we saw that are in standard pool for most of college Valorant were heavily won by Fisher.
Oh yeah, Fisher, they won the day, they won the semester, they won this awesome competition, and ECAC, they bring some of the best, and they are proving themselves to be the best of the stack of teams that we've gotten to see over this entire semester. But for the moment, we're going to take a short break before we get an interview with one of your Fisher favorites. We'll be back on the other side of it with Ming right after this.
Wireless.
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big. Jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Jeez, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Welcome back, everyone. We appreciate you being able to stick with us through the entirety of this night. The ECAC Valorant Finals have finally come to an end, but not before you get to talk to one of the winners from Fisher College. It is Ming joining us in the booth. And of course, Visionary, we got to see Ming do some critical work to assist the crazy killers that are on that squad. Ming, how's the squad feeling? You were talking about this being one of the last, if not the last, entire brackets of the year you got to take care of. I mean, what were the vibes and what were the thoughts going into this final?
With a win, I think that's about it. Just wanted to finish strong, grab another trophy, and look forward to next semester.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy stuff.
absolutely. It's y'all made it look easy today. That's for darn sure too. I have to ask you, so obviously y'all as a team are like, your duelists are crazy, and y'all are, the ability to kind of flex between all those roles is also integral to y'all's success, I'm assuming, as well. What really stood out to you when you got these group of guys together that knew, hey, this could definitely be a championship squad?
Well, I played with pretty much all of them in the past, so I kind of knew what I was getting into when we put the team together, and all those reasons you just talked about is kind of why I picked all of them up. I think they're all very smart players. They all really know what they're doing, and I trust each and every one of them. So
when it comes to overall, like we're looking at kind of CVAL, and you're participating in ECAC, and we get to see kind of the growth of many programs. Obviously, Fisher is involved in nearly every single final when it comes to all of the esports here for the ECAC. But we get to see you guys in a very responsible spot. You're number 3 in those top 30 power rankings. How does that affect at all kind of your teammates in the program? And I mean, do you guys do anything different to kind of maybe keep the pressure off from that weighing too heavily on you?
I don't really think pressure gets to us too much. If anything, us being at 3 is good. We're really looking for that 1 spot. We've had a couple hiccups here on the road, so I think us being at 3 is good. Kind of keeps us motivated. We're really looking for that 1 spot, so I think we're gonna be coming in swinging for next semester.
And I do want to ask you as well about next semester. Obviously, Bind and Breeze are leaving the map pool, and now Breeze hasn't really played much in collegiate Valorant almost at all. But Bind has kind of been a mainstay. With Split entering back in the rotation and having another map, do y'all see any changes or maybe any pocket picks that y'all might be bringing out that you might want to divulge? Obviously, if you want to keep the strat, I don't blame you at all. But a lot of changes have been happening in Valorant recently. I kind of want to just get your heat check on kind of the changes and you feel like they're good for the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for Split to come back. I'm a big fan of Split. Not the biggest fan of Bind, even though I've been playing pretty well on it. So I'm excited for that. I'm curious to see what the new map is going to be like, because obviously with 2 maps going out, there's going to be a new one coming in. So I'm curious to see what that map will be like, how it plays, what controller will be on it. I think there's a lot of unknowns right now, and we just kind of wait and see how the meta fleshes out, especially with the pretty big meta shift, as well as the VCT opening tournament coming up in Brazil soon. I think there's gonna be a lot of meta shifts and a lot of changes in the coming weeks and months, so I'm excited to be on the lookout for that.
It's always cool to be able to see programs such as yours and a team such as yours continue to adapt and overcome, be it not letting the Frenchman retire in that chamber or just consistently bringing us something new and cool to look at. But you guys have been fantastic. And of course, you win tonight. Any big final shout outs for your fans, friends, fam, anyone out there that was able to support you and your team?
Shout out Fisher, for making this possible. Shout out Brian Hummel, Aaron as well, Polly Hype, keeps me going. And obviously my teammates, they're great.
You know what? You guys took care of business. You got it done tonight. You're able to win the series 3-1, and you're able to get it done just efficiently as possible. And you saved us from going to a map number 5, which East Coast-wise, that's pretty great. So congratulations, taking it. Enjoy your win, man. Thank you for being with us.
Appreciate it.
Of course. Visionary. Got to see Fisher Falcons. They took a 3-1. We were thinking just maybe that the Lakers would get us all the way to a map number 5, but Fisher proving that that number 3 position is well earned for their squad.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind about that. They pretty much solidified it. I think GVSU will be one of those up-and-coming teams that are to look out for, but for right now, power rankings are correct, and Fisher's sitting there, and they're saving the day, and I definitely love seeing that kind of dominance, especially on the common maps, right? Like they have their T's crossed and their I's dotted as far as the maps that are typically played in competitive Valorant. They were very successful on those maps tonight.
Well, my I's are always crossed and my T's are always dotted. I hope that I can in some way, form, or fashion be able to compete at that level. Never really going to happen, but guess what? Boomer's going to boom, haters going to hate, and we get to see more esports on the other side. But tonight, thank you guys so much for being with us. We had an amazing production that was able to showcase so many awesome views, observers with Cool Scoot and Professor Layton that was able to be your main producer. But Visionary, it was fantastic to finally be able to cast with you. This was a really fun night.
It was a phenomenal night. You know what? It doesn't end here. We still have more championships to come as well. Of course, ECAC tomorrow. We have the Rocket League finals and the Overwatch 2 finals. Both of those featuring Fisher, big surprise. They're a big name in a lot of collegiate esports, versus Ball State in both games. So you get a little bit of a grudge match back to back. So I'd be looking for the Overwatch team to step up for where the Rocket League team falls, depending on how that ends up happening. So there's still a ton going to be brought to you, of course, on ECAC esports. This semester is not quite over yet, and I want to wish all of the players as well that played good luck in finals. Continue your education. It is important.
It very much is. But hey, if you're fishing or you're balling, we hope to be able to see you tomorrow. I'm Hail Monkey Man. That is Visionary 1. You have always been awesome and pretty cute. We'll see you next time.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 Classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a sore. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 wrists. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 Classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a sore. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 wrists. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this?